One of the premier Saturdays of the year for football and the eyeballs in South Carolina on the state championship weekend. It's known as the Weekend of Champions. We're getting ready to crown one more, this time in the 2A ranks. It's Class 2A's Strom Thurmond Rebels and Hampton County Hurricanes just about to do battle here in Orangeburg. With that, we welcome you back to the Weekend of Champions alongside a champion in his own right, my broadcast partner, Toby Cates. Jason Patterson with you. Toby, the former Gamecock, obviously a standout high school player. And Toby, we were talking about just how important these moments are for these high school athletes.
Oh, yes, these moments are very important. You're going to be thinking about it for the rest of your life. You're going to get people that's come up to you when it's 10, 20, 30 years from now. People still be coming up to you talking about these moments.
It is a moment that lasts a lifetime, and the journey getting here, something you also remember for a lifetime. Let's take a look at the path to a championship. It's brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. We call it the How They Got Here first for Hampton County, and one of the newer schools in the state, really making some noise through the lower state bracket.
Yes, and it plays some great teams. You know, they beat Sherrall team early, and then they came back and beat Central, who had been ranked #1, early in the season. So just by doing that and getting to the playoff game, show that they're very tough at what they do.
The upper state bracket just as impressive when you look at the path to work their way through for Strom Thurmond, an impressive journey to arrive here as we look at their Farm Bureau Insurance, how they got here.
Yes, I mean, Chester's been a great dynamic program for years, so they beat them, and then Fairfield Central. They had a barn burner with Fairfield Central, so just those two teams alone showing that how tough you are and you're able to come in these situations and win big ball games.
See what happened to that Clinton team when you talk about Fairfield Central, the one here a season ago. Let's take a look at our outstanding players. Those we will keep an eye on here are the A&I Fire and Water Restoration players to rely on, and two teams that run the football effectively. Should be no surprise we're going with a couple of running backs.
Yes, Jalen Singletary. I mean, he's 2,194 yards and 32 touchdowns. He's a state leading rusher. He's 18th in the country as far as scoring TDs and things. So he's just a great, outstanding young man. And also Deontay Phillips, the running back for Strom Thurmond. I mean, he runs the ball very hard in between the tackles, and he has 922 yards rushing and 22 touchdowns.
And now we turn our attention to what it will come down to in this one. Our Ingles food for thought, they stand as your keys to the game, Toby. Give me what it means for Hampton County if they're going to come out on top.
Hampton County to come out on top, Jason, first thing they have to do is feed the stud. That's the thing. That's FTS, feed the stud. And also on defense, they need to play gap responsibility because the two back sets that Strom Thurmond runs, so you have to worry about misdirection, different things like that. So play gap responsibility.
If the Rebels are going to win it for the first time since 2005, what do you see as their keys?
I think the first thing they have to do is keep the defense off balance. Because you run the football all the time, so you need to use some misdirection, maybe some bootlegs, some waggles, and different things like that to throw the defense off balance.
Who will excel in the ground game on this Saturday afternoon? The answer to that question may determine who ends up being the Class 2A champion. Our broadcast, brought to you by A&I Fire and Water Restoration, continues in just a moment as we push toward kickoff between Hampton County and Strom Thurmond.
After fire, water, or storm damage, it can feel like the heart of the season is lost. But for more than 50 years, A&I Fire and Water Restoration has helped families across the Carolinas reclaim life's most important moments. Because coming home isn't just about walls and floors, it's about memories and traditions. A&I Fire and Water Restoration, restoring more than property, restoring the moments that matter most. You can rely on A&I.
Have you been quoted for trench drain system to fix water intrusion? Before you compromise your foundation, talk to Foundation Solutions. We provide a more efficient, more cost-effective way to keep your basement dry. With 30 years of experience in Western North Carolina, we bring guaranteed work, financing options, and real peace of mind. Visit foundationswnc.com or call 828-768-2208.
When people come to us, they've been injured. They are now dealing with a big insurance company, a big trucking company, a company that, while they may say in their commercials they want to help you, in reality they're not there to help you. And if we're not there to do it, no one's going to do it. I personally hope you never need our number, but if you do, it may be one of the most important calls you ever make. 1-866-STEWART.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh, and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof. tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
Well, our combatants just about to take the field. Here come the Hurricanes of Hampton County getting set to take on the Rebels of Strom Thurmond. The 2A championship is on the line. Here are the Rebels in the building as well. What a battle this should prove to be. An impressive 2A classification this year. And Toby, a couple of teams that went through a Central to get here. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we roll along, but they are Central now as we check in with the third member of our broadcast team. Take it away, Claire.
Well, guys, both of these teams are riding lengthy winning streaks into this game. For Hampton County, it's an 8-game winning streak after they lost 3 straight in September. But head coach Rob Hanna told me that he told his team then that it would be their last loss. He said that they learned that they need to expect to win, but can't expect to win all the time. Meanwhile, Strom Thurmond head coach Andrew Webb said his team did expect to be here today. He said they're trying to win it not just for themselves, but in an entire community that has been working 20 years to bring back another title to their town. Guys.
Yeah, Rebels, as Claire referenced, last here in 2005 when they claimed a Class 3A championship in a part of the Weekend of Champions. And thank you, Claire. That's Claire Foley, who you're here from the rest of the weekend. 2 more games remaining, and this one underway as we have our initial kickoff. A preferred appliance kickoff has us underway. Your trusted appliance sales and repair experts. Pretty good return here. Going to have it up near the 40-yard line. Nice starting field position. And the name of the game in this one, how well can you run the football? It's that rushing of the football that's going to make all the difference. Of course, Preston Holmes has them in a pretty good spot here to get rolling, as you will see the offense for the Rebels of Strom Thurmond first. And Toby, the weather somewhat conducive to the type of offense these two teams have.
Yes, the weather should not be a main factor, you're playing on the turf field also, so that helps. So you don't have to be slipping a whole lot. But, most teams are dominant in running. So we're just going to see what kind of push the offensive line and defensive line battle each other all night long.
A couple of quarterbacks going to be key in this one that have been great generals for their respective teams across the course of the year. But the first look is a defensive impact. And this is going to send a bit of a message. We'll take a look at that defensive alignment in a moment. We start with the Strom Thurmond offense. And there you look at the surrounding cast for Bryshawn Lee.
Yes, Lee does a great job, 1,700. Deontay Phillips has 900-some yards rushing. Cato Wingfall, 689 yards rushing. So the receivers, Caleb Simpkins, 600 yards, and Shy Williams, 754 yards.
Those are our Adventure Children's Museum starting lineups. We'll see the defensive alignment here in a minute, and you now are acquainted with a couple of members of the defense. This group with a strong start to push back the initial drive for Strom Thurmond. And here's a look at how Hampton County lines up defensively, our Adventure starting lineup for the Hurricanes.
He does a great job. Malik Terry on the inside with basically 103 tackles. Henry Cribson, too, he has 33 tackles. Gavin Polite, 72 tackles and 4 sacks. And also they can create pressure on the line with Cleveland Maxwell with 42 tackles and 3 sacks.
Well, they have already made their mark. They have Strom Thurmond behind the sticks, 3rd down and 13 on the opening drive for the Rebels. And here's Lee. He's going to toss one out across the 40 to the 45. That's going to be well short of the first down, even though he connected with Braylon Searles. And going to be a 4th down and about 5 after this, Toby.
But it's just great to see early in the game that they're actually using some of the things we talked about, some bootlegs and some waggles, different things, putting the ball in other playmakers' hands other than just the 2 running game.
Yeah, you got to understand how difficult it's going to be with as well as these two teams play defense in the contest, and how often will you see them go to the skies. We're going to keep track as we go along the way, because it does not happen regularly with these two teams. Closing in on 10 minutes remaining, just underway, opening period. Nothing coming of the Strom Thurmond drive. And they're set to kick it away to Hampton County for the first time. At least it looks that way. Got a little movement up toward the line of scrimmage. And Hurricanes saw it and said, wait a minute, we want to talk this over. Timeout coming, as the defense was a little caught off guard by what looked to be a little more than your traditional kick it away moment. So interesting turn of events at the beginning of the Class 2A championship game. Much more to come, brought to you by A&I Fire and Water Restoration when you return to Orangeburg on the other side of the break.
If you've been dreaming of a getaway, Columbia welcomes you to the heart of South Carolina. Here, you can expect award-winning restaurants on the same block as Hidden Gems, peaceful riverside strolls alongside rushing whitewater rapids, and days packed with world-class attractions and roaring crowds. This capital city is full of experiences just waiting to be made into your favorite memories. Plan your trip today at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
It's time to experience Columbia, South Carolina, a standout destination in the Southeast where everyone truly belongs.
We are much more than our state's capital and home to the University of South Carolina. We are a diverse, growing city with incredible art and history around every corner.
You may even see a few painters set up on a street corner capturing all the city's sights and sounds.
But no matter your passion, Columbia is the perfect location. Take a chance by calling it home, even if just for a day.
The Strom Thurmond offense on the first couple of plays, but a third down gain made fourth down interesting, and just ahead of the timeout, the kicking unit came onto the field but rushed right up the line of scrimmage, forcing a Hampton County timeout. Now the punting unit back out there once more for Strom Thurmond, as a return is not set up this time around for Hampton County. They were playing a little straight D just in case up near midfield, so there's nobody back to return it. And it's going to be blown dead at around the 21-yard line. And that is where Hampton County's Hurricanes will take over under the direction of Terrell Grant. And Terrell Grant leading this group out on the field, one of those senior leaders on this squad at the quarterback position. And our initial look at this team offensively begins with a worthy reminder, Toby, that this is a team that only throws it around 12 times per contest, the Hurricanes. Now, Strom Thurmond throws it less than half that many times. So when we talk about watching the ground game and the number of backs in the stable, those numbers tell you why. And surprising, no one, they keep it on the ground. He calls his own number, does Grant, and is up toward the 30-yard line. You have seen Terrell Grant. What does the surrounding cast look like? Let's glance at the Adventure starting lineups for Hampton County.
Well, we already know about Jalen Singletary in the year that he has, but I think Desmond Mathis has to have a great game, receiving and rushing the ball. Christian Sabb, he does a great job too, receiving and rushing the ball. Jamal Housey, and he's a great catcher with 5 catches and 55 yards. So, man, you got a bunch of playmakers on this team.
Weapons abound, and it all surrounds the all-state performer in Singletary that so many are high on. Grant keeps it himself a second time, and that's a positive second down gain. Third and short coming. Here's the defensive alignment for Strom Thurmond as they try and slow the roll of the Hurricanes. Here's the Adventure Children's Museum starting lineup.
I think Bryson Coleman, he starts it off in the middle with basically 88 tackles. Gregory Moore, he has 62 tackles and 13 tackle for losses. So Grayson Smith, 54 tackles and 16 tackle for losses. So I think it's going to take a lot of tackle for losses in the backfield to help slow this offense down. All
of our starting lineups brought to you by Adventure Children's Museum. Those starting lineups for both teams now are yours. Adventure Children's Museum, all about play with purpose. You can find out more at adventure.org. Myrtle Beach and Columbia locations where you can find out a whole lot more about Adventure, sponsors of our starting lineups. On third and short, no surprise, they keep it on the ground and move the chains. There's the initial 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down for Hampton County. The Hurricanes with a fresh set up near the 38-yard line.
Jason, I just think it's great. It's basically his first carry, so the first couple downs, you know, they've been using him because they figured he was going to get the ball every single play. So they're doing a great job of mixing up and things that they have to do in order for them to win this ball game and not key on him.
Your first glance at Singletary, it's a first down carry on a short yardage situation. Comes right back his direction, and he's got 2 or 3. And still fighting as they eventually drive him out of bounds up across the 40-yard line. What is it that makes the all-state back so special? We see the numbers up over 1,000 yards, over 20 touchdowns for the senior. But what are his intangibles, Toby?
You can just see right now. I mean, he can catch the ball out the backfield, of course, but see how he makes people miss and just keep his legs churning. You know, that's the key as a great back. You got to keep your legs churning. And a lot of people don't get a lot of solid licks on him.
All his work came in about 3 quarters against Central, right? Didn't need to play the last one to put up those impressive numbers. And he's a guy who gave his team the lead for good last week, as he's done so often along the way. And he will break free on cue. Here goes Jalen Singletary down the far sideline just that quickly. Hampton County is out front. There is a flag down at the 38-yard line. So it was well into the play that the flag has come out. They're celebrating a touchdown in the land of the Hurricanes, but this may very well be coming back.
I mean, it's just a great run. I mean, it's just basically what you're going to see all night long. You're going to get doses of him and doses of him. Then all of a sudden, Terrell Grant, you know, can pull the ball. But I like the philosophy that they're coming in right now, and they're doing a great job. And the Hampton OC, you know, Taylor Melphus is doing a great job so far of mixing it up.
First down.
Well,
his explosiveness, I mean, how he just follows his blocks, and that's just a great job of blocking. I mean, his H-back, his offensive linemen are just pulling. You see how they pull and get in front of him. You got big Courtney Taylor, Hunter Lawson. When guys like that are coming through and making holes like that, it's easy to run through.
You heard the mic momentarily of our official as he was trying to share with you the block in the back, bringing it back to the 48-yard line. That's where Hampton County will work from here. So nothing goes on the scoreboard with that run, but certainly something goes in the back of the minds of the Rebels as well as their fans and everybody watching from home, because you just got a window into Jalen Singletary right there.
Yes, I mean, he's just exceptional. And like I say, it's that offensive line. You know, they've been doing it all year long, and they don't get enough credit, you know, saying for us this, but that's the one that's going to pave the way. So it's going to take something, you know what I'm saying, of the Strom Thurmond side to come back and make some plays. Those tackle for losses we was talking about, you got to create some penetration and disrupt in the backfield.
You said you love the play calling already. We'll talk about this staff a little more in depth as we go along, but one thing you can say for Rob Hanna's group, always a difficult challenge when you're working through a consolidation of schools and you're trying to set a new tone for a new era, but he has brought these athletes together, and one of the high praise moments we've heard about this staff regularly across the last several days is he got them all to play together and gel in a positive manner. Ball may have popped out at the very end of this, but it looks like it's staying right with the Hurricanes. Going to be second down and about 6 once they sort it all out. And Toby, that's saying something. We've seen it happen across the state here and there. This is worth another glance. Let's see if we can see where the ball comes out, who actually gets on it. You can see it's clearly out before he's down, but it's covered up by one of those white jerseys for the lower state champs.
Yes, and again, you know, they spell Singletary and they put Mathis in the game, so that's what we talked about earlier. Some of these other players just come in and carry the ball some to take some of the pressure off of him, so and that way you can keep him fresh so he can always explode and have a home run for you.
Yeah, you want him to be where he should be in the end. And somebody lost the helmet this time around and still fighting for every yard there. Flags come out at the end of this as we're in a bit of a wild sequence here all of a sudden.
I mean, that's what happens at the very beginning of the game. You know, there's a lot of emotion that's going on, you know, a lot of adrenaline that's flying. So until you just settle down and get into the game and don't do anything to get you kicked out of this game, you know, I think you start coming down and seeing a lot more better plays and a lot more better decisions.
And that was Singletary, the ball carrier, without his helmet. Keep in mind, we got a couple of teams that it's been a while for Hampton County, obviously the new school, as we were just talking about. This is their first appearance ever, just 3 years into their tenure as a high school in the Palmetto State. And for Strom Thurmond, you got to go a ways back as well, 20 years since that group has been here in a state championship environment. So, you know, making the best of it, but you get a little bit of that interesting start where you have to kind of settle in and get your sea legs underneath you along the way in these games.
After the play was over, personal foul against the defense. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the seceding spot. It will be a first down.
Officials didn't like what happened once the helmet was gone here, and the personal foul is going to march them a little deeper into Rebels territory.
It's kind of hard. He was in a pile, but I think the push down at the end when he didn't have a helmet on, at least he went to pick him up. You know what I'm saying? You know, he made a mistake and he realized that, and at least he wasn't that I'm showboating this type of thing. Like, hey man, I'm sorry, I just got in a heated, you know what I'm saying, decision right then. But
I'm with you. You'd like to see that at the very end of that for sure. It's a 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down, as all of these in the first quarter are. And going to be a first down give to the back again. This time stacked up. Pretty good push from that Strom Thurmond front this time around. We were talking before that series of penalties, Toby, about how difficult it can be. We've seen it happen across the state from time to time. When you're merging schools together, bringing athletes from different backgrounds and different traditions, to get them all to gel and play well enough to 3 years in be playing for a state championship, what that says about this staff, a special group to pull that off.
Yes, it takes, it starts from the top, what I'm saying? It starts from the head coach, his philosophies that he has to put through a lot of different programs now. It's just not one head coach in one different area. You all come together so the whole community can come together and do great things for the whole community, just for one side of town.
Yeah, because for the crew out of Varnville, of course, the consolidation of Wade Hampton and Estill high schools, 3 years in, here they are trying to make some noise on their first ever state championship game possession. It's come to a 3rd down now after that push you saw from Strom Thurmond defensively. 3rd down from the 20-yard line, just outside the Doctor's Implants red zone. Knocking on the door of that and needing a 3rd down conversion. The Hurricanes are back up to the line under Terrell Grant's direction. And they snapped it without Grant ready for it. Whistles everywhere, and they blow this one dead before it gets rolling.
Yeah, that's probably a great thing for Hampton County that he blew the whistle, because there was going to be a loss of probably about 15, 20 yards, and probably going to have to punt this football and pin them deep. So the penalty happened and still may back them up, but it's a great thing for them.
Before the snap, delay a game. It's the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
We're right there with you, Toby. Andrew Webb's reaction told you everything you need to know. He took the hat off and just kind of dropped the head a moment as if to say, wow, what a moment that could have been. Instead, just a 3rd down from slightly behind the sticks at the 26-yard line. So disaster averted for Hampton County, and they'll turn it into something positive, though the ball is now on the turf, and it will be scooped up by Strom Thurmond. Rebels get their moment after all. Coming down the near side, past midfield, still scampering forward into Hampton County territory. What a turnabout for the defense of this Strom Thurmond Rebels squad. Boy, that's the moment they were looking for.
I mean, that's just what happened. That's why you play this football game. I mean, just a hard hit, relentless getting to the football, and awareness, not knowing that wasn't nobody really around you to pick the ball up instead of just falling on the ball. And he just made a great run back and almost took it back to the house.
Watch Caleb Simpkins here. Right place, right time to scoop this after it is jarred loose. Here's a guy who's going to be in the Touchstone Bowl, that all-star game. He's already been selected for that. He may be selected for our stop of the game. That's an experienced Columbia SC stop of the game nominee, as the script was just flipped by the Rebels of Strom Thurmond.
I mean, like I say, it's just an awesome job to have awareness to actually pick it up and run it back instead of just falling on the ball. And, he gained probably 65, 70 yards on that run and put him in field position and maybe even score a touchdown.
We talk about flipping the script. He flipped the field. It's on the other 30 now and lunging inside it. You're going to see those kind of momentum swings in this game, Toby, and how you handle them often determines whether or not you come away with a little more hardware for the trophy case.
Jason, what you said is the mouthful. That's right. How can you handle adversity? How can you handle when things not going your way? So you have to come back and just fight for it.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Going to replay. 2nd down.
Safe to say for these two teams right now.
Excuse me, replay 1st down.
He's going to get the down right for you. Safe to say both these teams looking for a little bit of rhythm right now, but boy, how it changed for Andrew Webb and company just a moment ago. Of course, Coach Webb, who's done such a nice job, he talks about how the little things make up Rebel pride. It's the little things that have made the difference for his team. They had a goal of going undefeated at home, winning Region 2, check box on that, check box on that. Now can they finish off that final goal in the state championship environment this weekend? You have to wait for the next play at the 3:47 mark, whistles again. Of course, Claire told you both these teams on extended winning streaks. She mentioned the 8-game streak the Hurricanes are on. Rebels have won 9 in a row themselves, so it's been quite a ride for these two teams of late. Toby, you had an interesting fact you dug out related to those streaks.
I did. I'm going to find out on 9/12, which is my wife's birthday, On 9-12 and 9-26, both of these teams lost in the state of South Carolina playing a football game. And since then, neither one of them have lost a football game, and both of them in the state, and you're seeing just a remarkable run of why they are here.
Just an image right there of exactly how they have seen things go for them since those early setbacks. And here's Deontay Phillips, who's going to carry it right to the doorstep. Deontay Phillips, he's another of those guys going to play in the Touchstone Energy All-Star game, and he'll probably show you a lot more moves just like this.
I mean, Jason, you can just see he has a lot of explosive ability. He comes through the hole, he can make people miss, he has power to run over you, and he knows how to get in the end zone or close to the end zone with 22 rushing TDs.
And you said it, Toby, this is how they've gone on those two streaks since those setbacks you mentioned. Nice job, by the way, digging out that little nugget as well. Yeah. I know you had a little help with your wife's birthday involved there.
It was sometimes you have to. You know, Jason pulled out a lot of nuggets, so I have to just, at least I can pull out one a game.
You got way more than that, my friend. And here's a kick attempt that will not be there, but boy, what a finish to this particular drive as they work their way on through with the Palmetto Bath TD. It's going to be at 6, but what a difference that turnover and the ensuing drive makes for the Rebels of Strom Thurmond.
Hi, come on in.
Hi.
Okay, let's start by watching a short video.
Pills? It's really easy to get. It's scary. I knew a guy who died of an overdose. He took a pill from a friend. Stuff can kill you. His kid died.
It messed them up. Laced with fentanyl.
He just took one pill.
I love my mom. I don't want her to worry.
It's time to experience Columbia, South Carolina, a standout destination in the Southeast where everyone truly belongs.
We are much more than our state's capital and home to the University of South Carolina. We are a diverse, growing city with incredible art and history around every corner.
You may even see a few painters set up on a street corner capturing all the city's sights and sounds.
But no matter your passion, Columbia is the perfect location. Take a chance by calling it home, even if just for a day.
This was simply a run down to the doorstep of the goal line. That's the way it appeared to everyone in the house. But take another look at this. The officials that were right on top of it, seeing Phillips work his way to make contact with the pylon, and they award the touchdown here, Toby. Now, the extra point that followed was no good, so it's 6-0. But, you know, the initial thought, and all eyes on it, we talked about it, looked like maybe he was out of bounds at the 1 or 2 yard line, but they throw the arms up TD, and what a finish to that drive for Strom Thurmond.
Yeah, like I say, it was just a great drive, you know, all the way with the turnover, then coming right back and capitalizing off that turnover, following the momentum. You know what I'm saying? That's how teams play a lot, off momentum. And as long as things is going well like that, it's easy to score and push because, you know, with a turnover. So things can happen that way, but how do you bounce back from it?
Well, it looked like Hampton County was in control of the football game just moments ago, and boy, has Strom Thurmond developed some momentum now, and good coverage on the kick gives us a chance to show you the scoring summary. And all of our scoring summaries going to be brought to you by Palmetto Pride. Palmetto Pride, they are keeping South Carolina beautiful as the state's anti-litter organization. Just a couple of plays, all that they needed there as they go the distance to put 6 on the board.
Jason, that's how it happened. Like I say, momentum. Turnover is momentum building. Sometimes it is so detrimental to teams that can't bounce back and say, hey, just because something happened right now, we have to do something to create a turnover. Officially
just a 30-yard drive after Caleb Simpkins brought it all the way back into striking distance on that recovery following the fumble. So having to now shake off that turnover, the Hurricanes go back to work and flags fly again. This is something we saw a good bit in the nightcap last night, Toby. A lot of flags in the early going of this one as they try to work some things through in the state title environment. Here comes the call. Waiting just another moment for it from our white hat.
Personal foul, shot block, gets the offense. Half the distance to the goal. When we're replay, first down.
See if you can spot what he witnessed here. Yep, right at the end of the line there.
Right, yes, that's Mr. Charles Williams. You know, there's a certain area that you can do that, you know what I'm saying? But I guess he was a little bit too far down the field for it to happen. They're trying to take it out now for the safety of the players.
All about the safety of the players, and it's a fine line. You know, you think sometimes you get to this point, you think these players, these teams will have worked out all the kinks as they're this deep into the season. But when you get to the state championship environment, it's a whole different animal.
Yes, I mean, playing a lot more people, you got a lot more cameras on you. I mean, you got a lot more to play for. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a game that you just lose and we come back next week. You know, this is the final one. This is the biggest straw, the biggest game of the year is the state championship.
It may take a quarter, perhaps even more, to make sure you settle into this one. Well behind the sticks, and after just a couple of yards on the gain, it's going to be second down and a long way to go for the Hurricanes. Things were going so well on that previous drive as they marched into Strom Thurmond territory. But as we said, of course, ending with the turnover and then the quick strike that now has a 6-0 advantage on the board for the Rebels. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. What have you seen in this first quarter from these two teams?
I mean, I've seen two teams just very feisty. I mean, a lot of good play on the defensive line. You know, causing the fumble. You know, Strom Thurmond has already caused 18 fumbles this year, so they're averaging more than one turnover a game, you know, causing the fumble. So they're doing the same thing that they've been doing all year long. Like I say, it's going to be that type of battle. It's a trench battle, you know what I'm saying? Trench battle and linebackers, you know what I'm saying, flowing. So
prior to the snap, delay a game, gets the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And right now it's going to be working your way through some of these challenges with the penalties that are coming down both ways at the moment. This is going to back them up a little further. So a long way to go. In fact, the 37-yard line, what the Hurricanes will have to cross in order to get a first down, and they're going to snap this from just outside their own 10-yard line. So work to be done here, but a couple of downs
to get it. Yes, you
to do it with.
Have to take it all. You know, maybe a screen to the running back, or just take a shot at one of these receivers. They're basically playing man-to-man coverage, so maybe a quick shot.
Nearly intercepted, and you know who had his fingertips on it? Same guy again, number 7, Caleb Simpkins, with designs on another, but it just rolls off the fingertips.
And you can see it was a window to get there. But with everybody pursuing, it's just right, a little behind it. You know, he couldn't throw it forward, or maybe they would have picked the ball off. But just a little behind it. You know, again, like you say, time is not right. You know, it's not right with the snap. It's not right from different things. So little thing just off right now. So hopefully they can just settle down. If they do that right there, then hopefully they can make plays and keep this a great ball game.
How many times have we seen it where you hear the gun at the end of the first quarter, and all of a sudden everybody takes a deep breath and a couple of teams settle in? You wonder if this will be one of those days. 2 minutes to go in this first period. And the kind of rush you need to settle things from Singletary. But there was as we say in these parts, a country mile needed for the first down this time. So he is going to be up across the 15, that is all. And it'll be 4th down for Hampton County to kick it away. You will see a great deal of zero along the way today. No doubt he'll have his moments, but a good job covering him up when there was so far to go for the team in the white jerseys.
Yes, and like I said, that's a great thing, Strom Thurmond. You've seen that, you know, he's the type of back that can break a couple tackles. That's what he's been doing. But you've seen a lot of blue shirts getting to him. That's always a defense motto, is getting to the football.
Well, this is going to be a penalty into the kicker. Now, unfortunately for Hampton County, though, they will be the beneficiaries of the flag here. There was so much ground to cover to get back to the first down marker that it's going to be another crack at it, it would seem. This rolls just across the 30 to the 32, but all kind of contact there. They'll have to sort out the flag. Well, the third team on the field has been incredibly busy in this first quarter.
Yes, and that's really what you don't want to see, but hopefully they get it all out. You know, it's like working the cobwebs out of anything. You know, a well-oiled machine, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to keep running. So,
running into the kicker gets the receiving team. That's a 5-yard penalty. It would still be 4th down.
So running into the kicker, not the roughing penalty. It'll be 5 yards, and they'll try it once more. Get a good look at all the contact here. I said a moment ago, how many times have we seen it? You get to the end of the first quarter and it kind of serves as a reset. How many times have we seen it that some of these games that start off a little wild like this end up having some of the best finishes you'll ever see in your life?
Yes, you know, I'm glad we've been a part of some of those games, and hopefully continue to be a part of some of these games, because there's a lot of great games that's here today. And it's just great, like I say, to be a part of this cast and just be able to spotlight young men.
Yeah. perhaps these two teams going to give us another one of those memorable scenarios before this one's done. 57 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Strom Thurmond takes over after the kick, and of course this a much better kick this time around, as the punter was able to stand in there and do his job in a much different scenario. And up 6-0. Here come the Rebels. Well, Rebels offense not featured to the degree the defense has been so far in this game, but you have to like what on just a couple of plays Lee and company were able to do, with Phillips providing the noise and the headlines by scoring the touchdown on their last drive. They'll keep it on the ground, as you would expect, and up near the 40 it goes. That's a good first down gain. You'll take that kind of gain on first down all night long.
Absolutely. Big Michael Ware just running behind him and John Lastry. I mean, those guys just made a hole right there. So you just run with the push, you know, and just keep falling forward as the back, and you can get positive yards.
Look who that is. Grant on the defensive side of the football. More Iron Man football here in the Class 2A classification.
Yes, that's what we're going to see. You got to have the best players at the best times, and that's what they're doing. They're going to play these guys and put them in position for them to win a ball game.
A lot of respect for those who will be playing both ways in a state championship environment, and already a lot of respect by those who came to Orangeburg today. For the guy wearing jersey number 2, here's Deontay Phillips again. Phillips gained over 1,000 yards, 1,054, had 23 touchdowns across the course of the season. You got he and the sophomore Wigfall, who share time at the back position. Also another sophomore, Zyrouse, who sees time, but he's the veteran, Deontay Phillips, that leads the way for this group of backs. And that carry takes us to the end of the first period. With one in the books, there's just one score on the board. It belonged to Deontay Phillips. He and Strom Thurmond lead at 6-0 as we head to the second period.
Hi, Mom.
I've got an invisible junk pile.
How do you know?
When my friends saw it, I could see it.
Other people can always see them.
Can you make it disappear?
All you have to do is point, Mom.
It's gone.
Save $55 on junk removal. Book today.
We were tired of our old bathroom, but we thought remodeling was overwhelming and expensive.
And that's when we found Palmetto Bath. They brought their showroom to us with their no-pressure design consultation, making designing our new shower easy and fun.
And their employee installer was professional and efficient. He took out our old tub and put in a new walk-in shower. Thanks to Palmetto Bath, we got the shower of our dreams at a price we could afford.
Call today for your free consultation and tell them Megan sent you.
An invisible junk pile.
How do you know?
When my friends saw it, I could see it.
Other people can always see them.
Can you make it disappear?
All you have to do is point, Mom.
It's gone.
Save $55 on junk removal. Book today.
Take a look at our stats from the first quarter of action, brought to you by Jim Hudson Automotive. What stands out, Toby?
I mean, basically, 0 passing yards, you know what I'm saying, for Hampton County. But, you know, they've been behind the sticks a lot, so, you know, completing balls like that is kind of hard. But 76 yards rushing, 54, that's what we did. 76 total, 62. The turnovers, you know, and the penalties, you know what I'm saying. Between you got 7 penalties, you know, between two teams in one quarter.
And circle the turnover. That's the difference in the game in many ways right now. First carry of the second quarter, same as the final carry of the first period. Deontay Phillips has it. He's good for a handful. And Deontay Phillips, who had that touchdown run, the long score that is on the board, the extra point was no good. So we sit at 6-0 entering the second. This Strom Thurmond team, 2 decades removed from their most recent title for the school established in 1961. And the last time there was a championship down in Hampton County, it was Wade Hampton High back in the early 80s getting the job done. So 2 communities very hungry. Johnston, South Carolina, and Varnville, South Carolina, and all the surrounding communities as well. Starting the second period as they battle for the 2A title. Well, this was the story of the first period. It looks like it carries over just a bit. Another flag is down here.
I say it was just a great run. If it does not stand, but still, though, it just shows it's just a great pulling for these guys. I mean, Michael Warren keeps pulling around, making great blocks. As long as they keep doing this right there, it's going to be hard to stop this team if they can stay in front of the sticks. But when you get behind these sticks, you know what I'm saying, a long time with 2 teams that very rarely throw the football, you know, it's kind of hard to come back. So you're basically playing to maybe try to get a first down or punt and put them in a bad situation and pin them down.
And much to build on for both these teams from that first quarter. You looked at the numbers. We gave you the Jim Hudson Automotive numbers from that quarter. Jim Hudson Automotive, experience it once. You'll never forget it. We certainly won't forget that first period. And something to build on for Strom Thurmond because they have the lone score on the board. Something to build on for Hampton County because they outgained them. Let's see who builds on it here. Guess who? Saw him earlier as he returned it defensively, and Caleb Simpkins now has a long touchdown reception to go with that defensive moment. He provides an offensive one, and just like that, Strom Thurmond has doubled the lead.
I mean, it's just a great job, a great play call. Like I said, they don't normally throw the ball but less than 5 times a game, but this is what they do. I mean, he's had a great career throwing the ball for 1,700 yards and hitting. I think this is Caleb Simpkins' actually first touchdown of the year.
All the things he has done along the way, defensively and beyond, and he picks a state championship moment to provide an adventure play of the game nominee, making it a 12-0 lead with the Palmetto Bath touchdown. Palmetto Bath, experts in fast, beautiful tub and shower remodels. They serve Columbia, Greenville, and Asheville, North Carolina. You can learn more at palmettobath.com. Trying for the 2-point conversion, and it appears stopped just shy. So it'll sit at 2 6s. 12-0 is the advantage that Strom Thurmond has built on this long touchdown connection. Worked out earlier defensively, so why not dial up Caleb Simpkins offensively? Strom Thurmond out to an early advantage in the second quarter.
After fire, water, or storm damage, it can feel like the heart of the season is lost. But for more than 50 years, A&I Fire and Water Restoration has helped families across the Carolinas reclaim life's most important moments. Because coming home isn't just about walls and floors, it's about memories and traditions. A&I Fire and Water Restoration, restoring more than property, restoring the moments that matter most. You can rely on A&I.
Feeling disconnected?
That's it. We're unplugging, we're going to Adventure.
Adventure invites you to unplug from the digital world and plug in to quality time with your family. Get your family's heads out of their phones and into vibrant, hands-on discovery, creativity, and immersive play to spark their imagination. Disconnect the devices and reconnect with your family and adventure today.
Reminder, you'll want to stick around. At the half, we will have our Foundation Solutions halftime report. You'll learn more about the South Carolina High School League, also first half highlights and stats, all that coming up as a part of the Foundation Solutions halftime report. Probably did not expect to see a touchdown pass of that variety in the highlight package. A 55-yarder, the connection to Simpkins from Bryshawn Lee. And Toby, Strom Thurmond reminding everybody there's a variety of ways to get the job done. They find themselves up 12-0 here.
Absolutely, Jason. That's what we talked about earlier, you know, doing different things and keeping the defense off balance. And I think that's one of the keys that we talked about at the beginning of the game. And I think Strom Thurmond has definitely came out and done that with some misdirection plays, some different things, some passing plays, and throwing some bombs. So they're doing everything in their arsenal to not have tendencies so the other team can get a good grip on it.
37-yard touchdown run for Deontay Phillips and 55-yard touchdown pass to Caleb Simpkins, the 2 scores. And here is our preferred appliance kickoff. Looking for a lift. Here come the Hurricanes up across midfield on a solid return. And for a team looking for some type of response and some type of reaction, you love it when they can work it into the hands of their leader, and this is the return they had hoped for from none other than Jalen Singletary.
Yes, you can see he has quick motion, quick stop and cutback ability, and just shifting this to turn his body and don't let people get solid hits on.
So they'll start from the Strom Thurmond side of the 50, 47-yard line. We were just saying just prior to the touchdown pass that there were positives to build on for the Hurricanes, that they did outgain their opponents in that first period. Still looking for something to show for it on the scoreboard. And a sweep it near side. And everybody was waiting in those dark blue jerseys for the Strom Thurmond Rebels. They'll stand up the ball carrier after just a yard or 2. Among those on the scene, Bryson Coleman, who is the team's leading tackler.
Yes, I mean, he's always in the backfield from sideline to sideline. I mean, he already has 88 tackles, 5 sacks, and 14 tackles for loss. So he's just adding on and stacking up numbers, you know what I'm saying, as the games go by.
Yeah, think about the tackles for loss number in the double digits, and you said it. It was the doorstep of 90 of them across the course of the season. Try to set up the screen far side. They will. And it will work out for about 5 yards. Desmond Mathis is the recipient of this pass, and here comes a 3rd down and manageable.
Yes, it's just great. This quick little now screen throw to him, and Desmond Mathis, who already has 319 yards and 4 TDs this year, but he's also ran the ball a couple times in the backfield. So you're going to see him a spill Singletary something. They're trying to put the ball in this young man's hand.
Yeah, another of the senior leaders on this squad as the senior QB Grant comes back to the line of scrimmage with this group and trying to rush past that marker, but stopped about a yard shy of it is Singletary this time. They're keying on number 0, and it worked out for the Rebels on this occasion.
Yes, Shy Williams came up from the safety position. That's what you have to do sometimes, you know, saying against teams that run the ball consistently. You have to cheat a man down in the box, and what better way to do that than to call something for your safety to be creeping down, and that way it's hard to block him because you don't have enough blockers to block.
Beautifully described there, and you said it, Williams, right where he needed to be for this group. Toby, as Shy Williams will force it to a 4th down and short. What will Hampton County opt to do here? You might have thought they would turn and give it to Singletary. This time it works. That is going to be a Stewart Law Office's 1st down carry for Singletary. And boy, you just sensed that Hampton County had to have something positive happen. Perhaps this is it.
Like I say, it's just a nice pull. You see the right guard, Courtney Taylor, just pulled around and did a nice power and give it to Singletary. He's not trying to break it on that one. All he needs is to get a 1st down. And so as long as you keep moving the chains, you keep putting yourself in position to score a touchdown.
That is a Stewart Law Office's 1st down carry. Stewart Law Offices, over a quarter century of taking care of business for you. StewartLawOffices.net, where you can find out more. And that's a good 1st down game. You know, we talked about these two teams, both of them working through a Central to get here and now finding themselves Central. It was Strom Thurmond working through Fairfield Central and Central out of Pageland. Pageland Central, as they're known in the state of South Carolina, that Hampton County worked through in order to get here. Now they are Central, and all eyes on them in the Class 2A championship game. Our broadcast presented for you by A&I Fire and Water Restoration. And separated by 12 with 7:45 and ticking downward to go in the 2nd. They continue to battle, and they continue to utilize the main back in that stable, Jalen Singletary, and he's got a 1st down. Move the chains again. Another Stewart Law Office's movement of the chains.
I mean, that's what it's going to take. I mean, you don't have to get it all back in one play. You know, and this is a long game, and you can just see they just run straight power. He just run behind his blockers. He just follow behind them. You notice he keeps turning his legs, and that's what it's going to take. Hopefully, you know, by the 4th quarter, will he still be turning those legs? You know, that's going to be the key, a sign of between a good back and a great back. In the 4th quarter, a great back will still be turning his legs.
Well, and this is a team that they've shown how true your statement is. They've been able to roll up some yards, do some amazing things in rapid fashion. Remember, they scored on their first 4 possessions in the lower state championship game against Central cruised on to a 43-22 victory over the top-ranked team in the classification. So they may be in a 12-0 hole right now, Toby, but this team is going nowhere.
Definitely. You got star power with a 2,200-yard rusher, and you got an offensive line that blocks like they block, and playmakers like him, Mathis, Sapp. You know, you got different type of playmakers in Grant, so you got to always have a chance to win.
Coach Hanna talking about preparation being the key word for this group and how they prepared all season long for this moment. How prepared are they to make something out of this drive? Going to come 3rd down and 3 after that nice job by the front for Strom Thurmond. And this is another key 3rd down on this drive for the Hurricanes.
Yes, you know, and Jason, you know, hear me say this a lot, you know, when we have these things that, you know, they run the Singletary. Hopefully they got something that they're going to use that early. You know, a play action pass off of it, a bootleg off of it, some type of something that's different that they're actually setting them up for.
You like to see what they use off the expectation. It's a toss to Singletary this time, and he is covered up shy of the line to make. In fact, he's short of the 15-yard line. That was well read and snuffed out beautifully by this defense. Phillips among those on the scene.
Yes, I mean, Phillips is great on offense, but he's just more productive on defense. And that's what it takes, you know, these Ironman football with players that who will just throw their bodies and do what they have to do to make their team win.
A 4th down and a long 2. Hurricanes up to the line. They'll look over to the side for the offensive play call. And it looks like he's going to be short. He is stopped by the Rebels of Strom Thurmond as deep in their own territory they come away with the stand. Inside the Doctors Implants red zone, the Rebels have the takeaway. It will be Strom Thurmond football when you come back to Orangeburg, South Carolina with more of our A&I Fire and Water Restoration broadcast of the Class 2A championship game after this.
The thing that makes me happy about my job is when I can look someone at the eye at the end of the case and know that I have made them happy, that I've helped them at a difficult point in their life. We've handled thousands of accident-related cases from settlement to trial. If you give us a call, we're gonna get on the phone with you. If we need to drive somewhere to meet with you to make your life easier, we're gonna drive out there and meet with you. You're the person who's been in the accident, you're the person that needs help, and at the Stewart Law Offices, we're gonna go out of our way to help you.
It's time to experience Columbia, South Carolina, a standout destination in the Southeast where everyone truly belongs.
We are much more than our state's capital and home to the University of South Carolina. We are a diverse, growing city with incredible art and history around every corner.
You may even see a few painters set up on a street corner capturing all the city's sights and sounds.
But no matter your passion, Columbia is the perfect location. Take a chance by calling it home, even if just for a day.
There's family of networks across the Carolinas and beyond. Strom Thurmond takes over after a turnover on downs. They stopped the 4th down carry and now give it to Phillips, who's good for about 8 on his initial carry. You know, the yardage prior to that play, Toby, 122 gained by Strom Thurmond off 9 plays. Hampton County 109 yards off 24 plays. Difference in plays runs very much there, and that speaks to the nature and tone of the game. But they've been pretty even numerically. That turnover really the difference in the game thus far.
Sometimes that turnover and momentum, Jason, you know,
yes.
that's what happens, you know, and one team is just building off of it, but the game has been still pretty close. It's been a clean, pretty much football game, and the difference is you don't get many possessions when team run the ball and control the clock, so that's what you got to be careful for, too, of making every time you get a possession, make it count.
Well, that's something that we've seen from Strom Thurmond, and we've seen it from Strom Thurmond across the course of the season. And what a year it's been, Toby. You know, this is a team that reached the quarterfinals in 2022 and in 2023. Last year, though, they went 6-4 and were bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Of course, coaching staff saying so many of those games they were right there, and Andrew Webb told his guys, keep your head in it. It's going to be the little things that will turn it. Boy, did it ever. They set the goal of going unbeaten at home, of winning Region 2. They did both those things. Here they are playing for state. Not without a good bit of drama to get here. They won 9 straight, went undefeated in the region, but it was a 28-26 overtime contest against Batesburg-Leesville in which they trailed 14-0 that turned the season. And you see what it has worked itself into here in the state championship environment. This one's so close that they're going to measure, speaking of the little things, and once again, the little things pay off. By inches, you can move the chains with a Stewart Law Office's first down.
Well, I'm a true believer in this, and it happened to me firsthand. Football is definitely a game of inches, and that's what it takes. It takes all inches, it takes all effort, it takes everybody doing their all, you know, so it's a bunch of alls in there and inches in there that can determine a football game.
And they've been doing it since that gutsy win, as he called it, against Batesburg-Leesville. Good football since that time, and Rebel pride showing itself up for this Strom Thurmond group as their rallying cry. Looking deep again. How about this? Worked out the last time around, and it works out for a connection again. All the way down to the 33-yard line on another dose of Caleb Simpkins. And what can you say about the Phil General Lee? He has been on the money. Another tremendous toss by the QB.
I mean, it's just great again. You figure, you know, they're going to run the football and try to run it down the field and take it off the clock. But again, I said at the beginning of the game, misdirection, keep the defense off balance. They're just keeping the defense off balance. And Mr. Big Play Simpkins here is just having a terrific game.
Are you sure they have thrown it less than 6 times per contest across the course of the season? Well, this is a team that looks like a well-oiled machine in that department. It has not been the big part of their game, Toby, but it certainly has been a key piece to the puzzle here in the state championship.
Well, best I want to correct myself. I said 6 times, double that. Less than 12 times.
Less than 12 times per contest. Still,
yes, it's basically what they're doing. You know, he's thrown for 1,700 yards and 19 touchdowns. He has 19 touchdowns to his credit.
Just amazing. With as heavy as these two teams are on the run package, Strom Thurmond making the difference thus far today with their work to the skies.
Yes, I mean, like we said before, you got to keep a team off balance. You just can't keep doing the same old thing that you've been doing all season long, because they have a lot of huddles, they have a lot of things, a lot of information they can plug in and get used to your tendencies. So when you can change it up a little bit, big and major things can happen to put you in a chance to help you win a championship game.
I got a flag to sort out here.
Prior to the snap, false start, gets the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It's going to back the Rebels up just a little bit. We were talking about his team's path just a moment ago. Worth going back and revisiting the Upper State Championship game as well. Remember, 15-13 was the final over Fairfield Central. That was a game the Griffins scored on the last play of regulation and went for 2 to try and tie it. They stopped the 2-point conversion, much like they just stopped the last drive by Hampton County. That's how they earned their spot in the championship. So this is a battle-tested team. When you think about that win over Batesburg-Leesville, when you think about the way they withstood that late surge and handled the 2-point conversion, but they celebrated and moved on. And he said, my team will be focused in the championship environment. Boy, have they been. They lead at 12-0, and with a timeout on the field, are driving again with just under 3 minutes to play in the opening half.
Yes, you know, you're talking about that game that they had that was so tight and the defense that stiffened up. I mean, you got to give credit to the coordinator, Brett Newton. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He's the type of guy that has instilled with them, and you know that his guys are going to play for him. So he has the right calls and the right thing, and in the timeouts in certain situations, he can go up to them, and those guys love him, and they're going to play for him, and they're going to do hard and do everything they got. So, you know, it's credit that goes to all the coordinators, especially Mr. Newton, for all the work that he has done to prepare this team.
Yeah, this is the team that we said one throws it about 12 times per game, one about less than half that. This is the crew, as you said a moment ago, that has utilized that weapon, though it's not something that necessarily is the marquee, the headline piece of the puzzle, but a run-oriented, but boy, pass-effective offense that averages right around 36.5 points per contest. In the driver's seat, at least in this first half, and Strom Thurmond looking for more. as the Rebels have it at the 32-yard line. After the timeout, take us inside the huddle. What do you expect out of this?
I expect they'll probably give you a dose. They're going to probably try to get a first down, and they've been running the ball fairly well, so I can just see them running the football, getting about 4 or 5 yards, and running the ball again and getting a couple yards, and hope to keep pushing the pile and getting closer to a first down. Because they want to use that clock against you, too, because they don't want to give the ball back, you know, saying to Hampton County with the type of running back that they have and maybe get something on the board. So they're going to try to bleed this clock all the way down and still try to score a touchdown.
Deontay Phillips gets the toss here. Phillips is good for a few to make it 3rd down and a long 3. You know, Toby, you talk about how run-oriented these teams are. The one thing you don't want to do, fall in a major hole on either side. Got to be really careful with this drive for Strom Thurmond if you're Hampton County, because it's not necessarily a quick strike design offensive approach, and that makes this 3rd down all the more important. It's Phillips again, and he looks to be past the sticks with another Stewart Law Office's first down.
Yes, I mean, it's just a great push on the offensive line. You know, the big studs up front, Amari, McKelly, Zaya East, you know, you got those guys that's pushing behind him, so he's just running. But I also see him maybe setting up something off this too, you know, running the ball that and putting the tight end in motion and linking him to the flat, because, again, they don't throw the ball as much and people not paying much attention. But I can see the design that could be happening, that they're setting up some things for later on.
Well, and remember, this was set up by another long toss to Caleb Simpkins. That put them in the depths of Hurricanes territory. Phillips again, he had the first touchdown of the day, and he looks to have perhaps another first down here. He does. Back-to-back Stewart Law Office's first down carries for Deontay Phillips, who right now is providing the heavy doses right now. There's another dose of Phillips, another helping of him, and it's been good for Strom Thurmond.
I mean, it's been really great. Again, you got to credit Warren, Laster, McKelly, and East, and Boatwright. You got to credit all those guys up front for the push that they're getting.
You know what those guys have in common? All upperclassmen. They try to make room for Phillips here. Good for a couple as he works from inside the 10-yard line. Toby, you got 3 seniors in that group that you just named, and you've got 2 juniors, so you've got nothing but upperclassmen there to lead the way. You can run the ball effectively and do a little more than that, as we've seen Strom Thurmond do when you have that kind of experienced leadership up front.
Absolutely, and right now I tell Mr. Anderson is basically doing, I can probably see some type of a bootleg or play action off this, or some type of zone read with the quarterback, using the quarterback, because you've been running the ball so much.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
To your point, it certainly opens up the playbook.
Yes, I mean, you know, Lee is a exceptional athlete anyway, and, you know, when you keep running Deontay Phillips, and, you know, and you got some other guys, you got Simpkins out there, so you can see maybe a quick slant or something like that in the making, but they're probably going to run the ball on 1st or 2nd down and try to get most of the yards and get close, but I can see some of that that's coming up real soon.
Certainly on the table, and after the penalty, they're a little closer to the end zone. Ball just inside the 5. Lee to Phillips, and Phillips winding toward the end zone. He'll find it. 2nd rushing touchdown of the contest for Deontay Phillips, and it extends the Rebels' lead further. Now an 18-0 advantage for Strom Thurmond. The latest of the Palmetto Bath touchdowns look like this.
I mean, it's just great push for the guys. You see some of the guys actually coming through. Big East come through, and he don't really have anybody to block, so he's turning back. So like I said, they're getting a lot of push from this offensive line. Like I said, we talked about this, juniors and seniors, you know, and they relying on that and just pushing in. They just push them in the end zone. But it's just a great thing to see that how everything, all the units are all working together as one.
24 seconds remaining in the half when Phillips scored his 2nd touchdown. The veteran, one of the senior leaders in the 1,000-yard back, getting the job done once more, and he's still in there in this package as they try to make it 20-0 with the 2-point conversion. A completely different look from the Rebels, and no signal that he found the plane. As Rouse took it himself. We told you Zaya Rouse, a guy who has 13 rushing touchdowns across the course of the season, when we were talking about all the backs they have to work with, but it appears as if Hampton County turned this aside just shy of the goal line. So no conversion once more, and the points are coming with a trio of 6s. It's 18-0 on the board here for Strom Thurmond's Rebels.
Yes, I mean, and that drive was like clockwork. You know, it was mad, but they came down and they scored, but only left their opponent 24 seconds to march the length of the field. And plus, you talk about an offense again that throws the ball less than 6 times a game.
Good news for his team, though, is they will have a crack at it first in the second half and get a chance to reset a little bit, finding themselves down the 18 points at this juncture. You know, a lot of fans may have been watching the first couple of minutes of the game, and it looked like Hampton County was in control of things, Toby. Weren't able to put any points on the board, and the fumble that was scooped up by Caleb Simpkins and returned to flip the field really in many ways changed the overall complexion of the game. Strom Thurmond has not looked back since.
Yes, I mean, sometimes it takes like that. It takes a big play or something to jumpstart, you know, the offense, jumpstart the team. And sometimes that's what you rely on, you know, and they use it to their advantage. You know, they took advantage of that turnover, went down, and it sparked them scoring. So it sparked the defense to come out and play harder. Then it goes to special teams playing harder. Then it goes back to the offense doing very well. So they're living off high energy right now.
Justice Dalis kicks off our preferred appliance kickoff, and it's going to be one of the memorable moments of the contest. We needed a spark, they may be saying on that Hampton County sideline. They just received it. And with seconds to play, they will be set up deep in Strom Thurmond territory as special teams makes all the difference here.
That's absolutely, and people forget about that third phase. You have offense and defense, and then you have special teams. So you got to take advantage of it. I mean, but it's just a great job of them not giving up and just allowing them to score a touchdown. So just the effort for them that shows too on both parts. A great job on the return, but also a great job of hustling down and not letting him score.
Desmond Mathis setting up a potential 2-for-1 right here. Opportunity to score at the end of the half, get the football back to open the third quarter. You talk about a game-changing moment. How many times do coaches tell us, Toby, how many times have they shared with us over the years? The final seconds of the first half, the first couple of minutes of the second half, among the most critical stages in a football game, and you're seeing it unfold again here.
Yes, I mean, you know, and we've seen games in the past that has happened that way. And what you call it is doubling up, like we talked about yesterday. You know, if you can double them up when you can get one right before the halftime and stop them from scoring, and then get the ball right back at halftime and come back and score, I mean, you definitely could make this a ball game, and then you can change momentum. And now once you change momentum, a lot of things start happening your way. Players start flying to the ball more. They start, you know, making responsible plays. So, you know, it's a long ball game, but just hoping to see what can happen right here and looking for Coach Addison, to see what he can make.
This is a game of momentum. That much is sure. As you take a look at the staff, of course, the head coach we talked about a little earlier, Rob Hanna, Taylor Malfris, the offensive coordinator, with a decision to make here in the latter stages of the half. Guy who came over from Thomas Hayward Academy, skis of success there. Ridgeland, South Carolina, now at the helm of this offense for the first season. It's resulted in a state championship chance. Can they put points on the board in the state title game? Not just yet. Strom Thurmond was waiting. The clock stops with 5 seconds to play as timeout is taken.
I think that's just a great job, because most people thought Singletary was going to get the ball. And we talked about earlier about not looking in the backfield. Don't be fooled by dirty eyes, is what coaches call it. Don't have dirty eyes. Get responsibility and play your responsibility, and that's what they did right now. Because if not, Grant probably just walked in for a touchdown, but they playing their responsibility.
Instead, they bring Grant to a halt here just inside the 10-yard line. All right, Toby, 5 seconds on the game clock. A critical opportunity after what you just talked about, a major momentum swing for Hampton County. What a swing it would be of momentum if they can finish it off with points here. But what's at your disposal with 5 seconds? The down's not even a factor now. The time is exactly what you're concerned about if you're trying to get the job done on both sides here.
Yes, I mean, it has to be something very quick. I mean, if you're going to do it, and then, I mean, you're talking about a 20-something yard field goal, so at least you can try to get some points. And that's going to be the key right here. If you're going to do something, that has to be quick. I mean, and very quick if you're going to throw the football. I don't think running is an option, because most teams, if they're not going to tackle, they're going to hold you up.
And again, these teams that don't necessarily throw it that often, but you say that, you have seen how effectively the passing game can be today, certainly on the Strom Thurmond side of things. So 5 seconds from the 10-yard line, a Doctor's Implants Red Zone opportunity to remember here. Doctor's Implants impairing people through full mouth dental implants. They are empowering those who need assistance in that area, if that's you, check them out. Doctors Implants, once again, empowering people through full mouth dental implants, sponsors of our Red Zone Chances. And this Red Zone Chance, this Doctors Implants Red Zone Chance, as critical as any we've seen this weekend when you talk about what it would mean to Hampton County here. Why not talk it over a little further? Another timeout taken.
That's right, absolutely. And I think, like I say, Coach Newton and those guys, they're going to tell you to defend their end zone. And if they decide to run the football, basically don't bring him to the ground. Hold him up and let your teammates come so, time can run out. So that way you can't just call a timeout or something quick. But definitely, again, I think they call this timeout so they could line up and see how they're going to look and see the things that they're going to do. I don't think they're going to rush as many people, but they're going to protect that goal line. That's going to be the key. Protect the goal line.
Well, if you weren't with us, 6 on the board on a long Deontay Phillips run following a turnover in which Caleb Simpkins scooped it up with Hampton County driving, flipped the field. That made it 6-0. 2 touchdowns since, a long touchdown toss to Simpkins, and a second Phillips run for a TD have put 18 on the board with no conversions to follow. And they will play 6 seconds on the scoreboard officially. Ahead of the Hampton County snap. Toward the end zone.
Touchdown.
Tipped up. Did he hang with it?
Yes.
Absolutely. There is the first touchdown in a state championship environment in the history of the Hampton County Hurricanes. And they are on the board when they had to be on the final play of the first half.
I mean, it's just a great route with the quarterback. He just pump fakes and throws in it. And Desmond Mathis makes a great catch. I mean, but he's been doing it all year long. I mean, he's one of the leading receivers on their team and also like one of the second or third leading rushers on the team. So you want to put the ball in your playmakers' hands, and that's what they did. Great call.
Well, you talk about the job that's been done by number 7 on one side. How about the deuce here? Desmond Mathis had the return that set all this up, and he has the touchdown catch fittingly that caps the drive. And now looking for the extra point, Rafe Sullivan kicks it right through. The conversion good. My, how things changed in the final seconds of the opening half as Grant and company drive down after Mathis' strong return, and Terrell Grant hits Desmond Mathis for a touchdown on the final play of the first half to tighten things up a bit as we head to the intermission. We'll hear from both coaches in this one. Let's head to the field now and hear from one of our coaches who's standing by with Claire.
Thanks, guys. Coach, let's start with your offense. You're known for your run game, but aired out 2 incredible passes there. How can you continue to keep their defense guessing?
Got to keep running the football. Everything starts with running the football. If we can do that, we'll have some shots. But everything starts with running the football.
And how can you continue to contain Jalen Singletary on the other side?
We got to get 11 hats to the ball. Can't let them start at 12. We got to get the kickoff fixed, but we got to get 11 hats to the ball.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, thank you.
Andrew Webb says, make no mistake, the rushing game is foundational, but we saw both the air attack for Strom Thurmond and special teams for Hampton County make a major difference in this first half. Halftime coverage coming up, brought to you by Foundation Solutions, and our broadcast presented by A&I Fire and Water Restoration of the Class 2A State Championship game continues after the break.
At Palmetto Pride, we know we have a choice. The choice for a cleaner South Carolina. And it's the easy one at that. Don't litter. No grand gestures or heroic efforts here, but the outcome still has monumental impacts. When it comes to our state, every choice counts and every action matters. From the great outdoors to parks next door, from Main Street to your street. All it takes is a little bit of pride to keep South Carolina beautiful.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
Foundation Solutions Halftime Report. Foundation Solutions. It won't cost you to get a quote from us, but it could save you thousands if you don't. Call today or visit foundationswnc.com.
Hey everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to this state championship high school football game. Joining us today is our good friend all the way from Ingalls Markets, Miss Taylor Newhouse. Taylor, are you loving the game so far?
Absolutely, it's been a fun one to watch.
It has been a fun one to watch. Now, what are you anticipating? An explosive finish, I hope?
We always hope for an explosive finish, but definitely an interesting game.
All right, we got to talk at the end of the game then.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about high school athletics in general, because from what I understand, Ingalls Markets, y'all have had a long-standing and robust partnership, not just with our organization, but the entire community as a whole. Let's talk about the dynamics of that partnership.
Absolutely. We kind of gravitate towards athletics because we feel like it's a great way to reach our communities, but we're with these kids all the way from that first day of elementary school all the way through college. So we're really following them, but athletics is a good way to bring it all together because everyone loves a Friday night football game.
They do indeed, including you and I. That's
Absolutely.
Right. So it sounds like you guys really do bridge that link between academics and athletics. Am I correct to assume that?
Yes, definitely. We're there to support children through their entire educational experience.
Speaking of supporting children, y'all have people who come into y'all stores and end up working for y'all, people who you go to church with. I mean, this really is a tight-knit community. Is that right?
Absolutely. Ingalls is a beacon in all of our communities, and we love to get people in and out of the store, especially these kids that are working at our stores, our athletes and students in the schools that we support as well.
That's indeed right. Well, Haley, you know what time it is. It's time to get back to some football.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. We'll see you guys next time on Friday Night Rivals.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this
You
week?
gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
This week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the Warhorses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
We were tired of our old bathroom, but we thought remodeling was overwhelming and expensive.
And that's when we found Palmetto Bath. They brought their showroom to us with their no-pressure design consultation, making designing our new shower easy and fun.
And their employee installer was professional and efficient. He took out our old tub and put in a new walk-in shower. Thanks to Palmetto Bath, we got the shower of our dreams at a price we could afford.
Call today for your free consultation and tell them Megan sent you.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
They are really the ones who are on the ground and know what their students need better than anyone else.
They protect the fairness and rules of high school sports.
They're here to look out for us. They're here to look out for what we love to do.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Many people might go on to not play collegiately, but they can take a lot of skills that they learn and use it in their professional life, in their future careers. There is a direct correlation between how much work you put in and how much you're going to get out of that.
You're watching the Foundation Solutions Halftime Report. Foundation Solutions. It won't cost you to get a quote from us, but it could save you thousands if you don't. Call today or visit foundationswnc.com.
First half, a word you used regularly, Toby Cates, was momentum, and we saw swings of it. It looked like Hampton County was in control early. A fumble, Strom Thurmond forced and took advantage of. They built an 18-0 lead, and then a return of the kickoff following that 18th point scored, setting things up for Hampton County to score on the final play of the opening half and tighten things up a bit. With that, we welcome you back to our A&I Fire and Water Restoration broadcast and the Foundation Solutions Halftime Report. Time to look back at the key moments, the highlight moments from our first half of action. You're going to be reminded how many playmakers there are in this contest.
I mean, definitely. I mean, it's just a great play. I mean, Caleb simply just picks the ball up, and he just makes a great return, I mean, down the sideline. And this is what started the momentum for Strom Thurmond right here. You know, it takes plays like this to jumpstart it. Then you just see Phillips just come, he just makes a great move and just turn on the jets, comes and just dives for the end zone and battle gets across the goal line.
That's where it turned on the turnover, and then he finishes the TD. They go up top to Caleb Simpkins, and he has a receiving touchdown. First time this season. What better time than the state championship environment? But here was the return a moment ago from Desmond Mathis that turned the game for the Hurricanes.
Yes, I mean, Mr. Mathis been doing this all season long, making outstanding plays on offense and defense and definitely on special teams. So it takes plays like this to set you up, and then he comes right back and say, I just finished the job, and scores a touchdown to help get this game close to 18-7.
Fittingly, it's Grant to Desmond Mathis, and the job he did to hang on there after the contact, remarkable. Time for our halftime stats, brought to you, as all our stats have been across the course of this one, by Jim Hudson Automotive. Jim Hudson Automotive, experience it once. You will never forget it. We'll never forget that first half. Total yards at 209-119. Strom Thurmond has it trending their direction there. The penalties have cooled off a bit, which is a welcome sight, and that turnover the difference. Anything else number-wise you're watching?
I'm just watching that passing attack, 107 yards to 16 yards. That's the biggest difference in the totals. The rushing yards, 103 to 102. Turnovers 1-0, penalties 5-5. So the biggest stat that sticks out to me right now is the passing, from 107 to 16.
Yeah, half of that came on that one toss right down the left side, in which Caleb Simpkins scored the TD. That's what's happened here. For a look around what has happened across the country this season, some of the superlative moments from our broadcast packages across the country, known as Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Ron, nice cut move and a hurdle. He's still on his feet. Are you kidding me? Caleb Ron, touchdown. Oh my goodness, what did he just do?
He will roll right, under pressure, still on his feet, trying to find somebody downfield. He's in trouble. He'll throw it to the back of the end zone. The receiver's wide open. Touchdown, McQueen.
Michael Henry got his field goal blocked, caught it, and said, look what I found. Touchdown. in one of the most bizarre football plays you will ever see.
Pressure, throws it downfield to the middle of the field. What a catch, coming up and grabbing the ball.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea it was one-handed that he grabbed that thing and hauled it in.
Another rush, they're gonna throw the screen and it's intercepted. How about the big fella, Akeem Davis? Davis staying on his feet. Look at him go. Davis.
It's like a Strom.
They can't bring him down. Akeem Davis is still moving. At the 30, at the 25, he's stuck out of there. Are you kidding me, Akeem Davis? He is in for the touchdown.
55-yard field goal from the left hash. The kick is up, and it is. It's good at the buzzer. Bryant is the hero for the Buccaneers.
When people come to us, they've been injured. They are now dealing with a big insurance company, a big trucking company, a company that, while they may say in their commercials they want to help you, in reality, they're not there to help you. And if we're not there to do it, no one's going to do it. I personally hope you never need our number, but if you do, it may be one of the most important calls you ever make. 1-866-STEWART.
Hi, come on in.
Hi.
Okay, let's start by watching a short video.
Pills? It's really easy to get. It's scary. I knew a guy who died of an overdose. He took a pill from a friend. Stuff can kill you. His kid died.
Mess them up. Laced with fentanyl.
He just took one pill.
I love my mom. I don't want her to worry.
Playing high school sports has made me a better person, especially with my mental toughness and endurance, and gave me a growth mindset.
High school sports are worth protecting because it gives students an outlet to become what they want to be.
Without high school activities, there is no high school experience.
Well, when you consider the history of this greatest of all states, few communities more pivotal than these two. They meet for a Class 2A championship here on this Saturday afternoon, turning evening. We heard from one coach prior to the break. We now get to hear from the other. Let's check in field side with Claire.
Thanks, guys. Coach, you get a score to close that first half. How can that be a spark plug for your group?
Yeah, big spark for us. You know, getting the ball second half. We hope we can go 2 for 1 here and get us back in this ball game.
How can you try to open things up for Jalen Singletary?
Yeah, we need to probably spread him out a little bit and give him a little more room. We try to get into our power run game. They had a good game plan to stop it, and we just got to execute. We, had a big penalty that called back a touchdown for him, and then a legal block on a first down would put us in 1st and 25. You can't win doing that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Coach Hanna, the right guy for the consolidation. We talked about it in the first half. Toby, this school now just a trio of years old. They're the combination of Wade Hampton High, last playing for a state title, last claiming one in the early 80s. Of course, Estill coming together with that group, and he's brought all those athletes in that community together. And it's become the Hampton County Hurricanes appearing here for the first time. Just scored their first ever state championship touchdown on the final play of the first half, and now have a chance to add to it as our preferred appliance second half kickoff has us underway. It was a kickoff return that set it all up from Mathis. This is going to be simply across the 30 to the 31, and that is where the Hurricanes will take over for the third quarter. Hard to put into words how important it was the way the half ended for this group out of Hampton County.
Yes, I mean, and definitely important. You know, like I said, again, they get to trade, could have the possibility of trading, you know, 2 touchdowns back to back, you know, and that's big as far as momentum building is big, so they can see it on the scoreboard and take some time off this clock and do some stuff and just use all that momentum and use things to burn time off to help you win this ball game.
Play call, a good one at the end of the half for Coach Hanna, Coach Malfris. We talked about it, just referenced it in the first half, but Taylor Malfris brought on first-year coordinator. He was independent schools, SCHSL. Thomas Hayward, standout coach and performer there in Ridgeland, South Carolina. A guy who, again, was a great standout himself. And a graduate there, came on board as an assistant, eventually was the head coach. He played football himself at North Greenville University, got his undergrad degree there in 2012, and what a find he has been as a play caller. Taylor Malfris from a great family, great background there in Ridgeland, where a lot of friends from around the state are, as we talk about all these wonderful communities. And he has been a lift as a play caller alongside Rob Hanna and what this staff has done. Coach Paul, the defensive coordinator, just remarkable to bring this team here 3 years in to the existence of this school, Toby.
I mean, this is great, but it's great pressure of getting to the football. I mean, what can you say? Jasmine James, that's what you need to do. Just make plays in the backfield and another tackle for loss. You know, as long as you keep doing that and keep them behind them sticks, it's hard for them to do it. But as far as the coordinators, it's been a great job and a great thing that he has done and changing the whole aspect as far as going to a spread style offense to create holes and gaps. So hopefully you can have players like Singletary like that can get you first down.
Well, on cue, they dial up another nice call here, end up moving the chains. This is, we were talking about it at the break, a very important drive for this group. You're going to see the first down carry. It's a 1-800-GOT-JUNK, sponsors of our first downs in this third quarter. First down carry by who else but Jalen Singletary. But you take a look, not only Singletary's performance right here, not only just that first down, this drive and the 2-for-1 opportunity it encapsulates, Toby, very critical to the outcome of this game.
Absolutely. Like I say, again, you know, the coaches said came out of halftime and made a decision that the power game wasn't working for them, that they had something for them. But what a smart coach does is he used other things to run the same plays, but different formations and different things, maybe setting some things up longer down the road, or maybe throwing some short throws and getting a chance to get a first down.
How about Smith getting in there, helping snuff this out, and that'll put him behind the sticks on a loss first down. Well handled there by 1-8. Nice job corralling things.
Yes, I mean, he's had a great season and a great time of just getting off tackles and doing certain things. So, I mean, as long as he keep doing that and Grayson Smith keep playing like that, it's going to be a long night for Hampton County.
Grayson Smith, one of the big pieces of this defense, and we talk about these coaches' staffs. How about what Brett Newton continues to dial up on the Strom Thurmond side of things? His group going to be a little challenged by this back, however, and you heard it in the conversations from the coaches how important it is to hold down these key playmakers. Another big first down run. Right now, everybody concerned with how quickly can one of the stars in this game, Jalen Singletary, pop back up. That's not what the folks from Hampton County wanted to see, and certainly not what anybody wants to see in terms of anybody having any lingering effects of an injury.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Going to replay, second down.
Somewhat of an insult to injury moment that the flag is going to back Hampton County up as well, but the good news is Singletary up under his own power. Here's a look at the holding call there, Toby.
Yes, I mean, you see the holding penalty come, but you can just see the explosiveness for this young man. But again, Strom Thurmond is not giving up. You know, he grabbed him by his hair, but it wasn't like he meant to grab him by his hair. But in this game, sometimes it's by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? You do certain things not to let your opponent score, and it's just unfortunate because now with the new rule, hair is a part of the uniform.
Yeah, and sometimes you just whatever you can get your hands on, right, to try to bring somebody down, particularly when they're as explosive as Singletary. This up across the 45 to the 46, so they go from behind the sticks on second down after the penalty to now about 6 yards that are going to be needed here. We mentioned how important this drive is for his group. 3rd down and 6 coming.
Yes, and, you know, in the first half, you know, 3rd and 6, you know, he's really thinking in his mind if he can get 4 and 5 yards. If he can get 4 and 5 yards, I think it's going to be a 4-down territory. So, you know, with a back like that, explosive back, and a quarterback like that, I think if he can get a lot of positive yards on this one right here.
Well, they went to the pass this time,
yes,
and it is batted away. So incomplete, the rare look to the air for the Hurricanes. And it's going to be 4th down and still 6 to go.
And it's just a great job of getting pressure. And like I say, if you can't get to the quarterback, what do? You put your hands up. You know, that's the golden rule of football. If you can't get back to him, just throw your hands up.
Kobe Windlass does just that. How about Kobe Windlass picking up one of the key moments defensively for the Rebels as he swats that away. And the offense stays out there on 4th down and 6 from up near midfield. Speaks to how important this drive is for Hampton County. They will utilize the reverse, and he's still going to be stopped about a yard shy. It looked as if it was trending positive, but stepping up and making an open field tackle to save the day was Shy Williams, and he left him just shy.
I mean, it just seemed like this was just going to be a great play, like he was just going, but he had one defender in his vision like he was going to get the 1st down, and Shy just come out kind of nowhere. It just showed how fast he wanted to get to it, and that's the relentless effort that we talked about before of not allowing him to get a 1st down.
The appropriately named Shy Williams, a candidate for our experienced Columbia SC stop of the game, as he finds Carrington Sabb just in time to turn aside any early 3rd quarter push from Hampton County and give the Rebels the football back. Circle that moment and tuck it away in the back of your mind, because it is one of the key sequences in this football game, Toby.
I mean, it's just a great sequence. So, again, you got guys that's giving their all, and they're flying to the football and just not giving up. And that's what it takes to win games. Like we talked about the little things, you know. That's the extra effort when you run in those sprints. That's the extra thing when you run in the heels and stuff like that. It's just relentless pressure to never give up.
Well, it's the little things that Andrew Webb talked so much about leading into this week of preparation. He said it was the little things, the difference in that 6-4 team last year and his squad coming in here at 11-2 looking for a state championship, the 2025 edition. Those little things making big differences. And here's a 2nd down carry that's going to go a couple of yards shy of the marker. So 3rd down is coming, going to be 3rd down and about 2, as Strom Thurmond looks to snatch the momentum back away at the 7:22 mark of the 3rd.
I mean, it's just a great tackle by, you know, Blake. He's always in the backfield, and Henry Critterton. So those 2 guys in there. But I like the play call. You know, again, you know, you got great backs. You got Phillips, who always consistent running football, but using him and adding Lee. And now you're in a 3rd and short situation. What they keep doing is they just keep the defense off balance. You know, that was one of the keys that we said at halftime and continue to keep doing, and at the start of the game, was to keep them off balance.
Phillips, he's got the 1st down. That's a 1-800 got junk 1st down. Sponsoring all of our 1st downs in this 3rd quarter, 1-800 got junk. They make junk disappear. That's 1-800 got junk, sponsors of our 1st downs here in the 3rd quarter. That's a big movement of the change right there for the Rebels.
I say this, using all their playmakers, and it's just a push. I mean, it's just a great block by Braden Searles come through. He just making blocks. You see 68, Big East, clearly Lex, all those guys again. All the guys up front are making big holes, and again, the play calling with the misdirection, different things are keeping them off balance.
Well, you think about the 2 touchdown runs and everything Phillips has been a part of, now eclipsing the century mark, working his way up over 100 in this one. And that's coming with still 6 and change remaining in the 3rd quarter. He's had a special day, Toby. He had the first touchdown of the contest for Strom Thurmond, which capped off and capitalized on the early turnover, which turned the tide in many ways. And there you see an even 100 on 14 total carries. Since that time, a couple more. It's updating for you in real time, the guy with the 2 touchdown carries on the afternoon now turned evening.
I mean, it's just a great day. He's just having. Again, credit all those guys we talked about on the offensive line. I mean, the seniors and the juniors, they're making big pushes, and the H-back, Braylon Sears. So they're doing a lot of things to come back and making big plays up top again.
Yeah, looking for another. The question is, could he remain in bounds? And the answer, not quite. The ruling is he was out when he made the catch, so it'll be ruled incomplete. Well, that worked out a couple of times. The touchdown toss of 55 yards earlier. Of course, you had the long connection, which set up the Phillips touchdown run a little later. And he made the catch here, just couldn't quite keep the feet in.
Yeah, again, I love the play call. Again, they're just not sitting back. You know what I'm saying? They are very aggressive. They're doing different things. They try to score and put this game, you know, basically out of reach. And I just love what they're doing. You know, they mix a lot of different things up. And, I mean, I just really like it.
Riley Addis, 9 years into his tenure as the OC, continuing to keep the playbook open when it matters most. And how about the job his athletes are doing as he and Coach Webb continue to push all the right buttons. That's going to move the chains. That's another 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down, and it moves it inside the 30-yard line.
And I think that's another great thing, too. You have coordinators that's been there for a long time. You know, you got 9 years of experience, not even just talking about coaching experience, but 9 years of experience of being around these players and doing stuff and building relationships is definitely key and big in the process and development of your program.
You missed it when we talked about it earlier. Strom Thurmond team back looking for a title for the first time since 2005. A consolidated Hampton County high school. Consolidation of Wade, Hampton, and Estill looking for a first title for that community since the early 1980s in just the third year of this school's existence. That's what's at stake between these two in the Class 2A title game. 4:46 with the clock stopped here in the third quarter on a key drive for the Rebels of Strom Thurmond.
Yes, you still see the fight, you know what I'm saying, in Hampton County. You know, Gavin Polite just made it, you know what I'm saying, that's a great tackle. So, you know, I'm loving it.
Helping the runner against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Some people at home would be saying, isn't that the goal?
That's what I thought. You know,
that's one of those.
You know, I used to think that used to be a rule to now see the push, or, you know, all the things that they call it and doing different things.
It's one of those things that cross the line from what you're able to do in order to help him get there. But Toby, folks at home might hear that and say, wait a minute, why not help the runner?
Right.
There's a fine line between what you can do and what you can't.
Yeah, I think you can actually push him, but you can't grab him and pull him
exactly
like you did.
That's a great point. So it's behind the sticks on first down now from just outside the 30. Try to set up the screen. Simpkins again, and he's rushed out of bounds shy of the 20-yard line. Boy, Simpkins has proven to be quite the weapon in this state championship game for the Rebels.
Yes, you know, he was used, you know, mostly all season, but he didn't have as many touchdowns. But again, that's what you do. You go back to guys they've been reliable all year, but this is just their time. If they're going to give me the jewels and give me the plays to get the ball to you, and that's what they give me, and that's what I'm going to do. So 2 receptions for 99 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's taking advantage of every opportunity that he's got.
He's been quite the tandem with Deontay Phillips out of the backfield, and what Lee has done to manage the game as the field general for this Rebels squad has been impressive. Speaking of Phillips, on cue, he'll have it again. Second down and short. He moves the chains one more time. That's another 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down. And Phillips and Simpkins, quite a 1-2 punch. You know, if you want to see these two in action beyond the regular season in high school football, they are both a part of the Touchstone Energy Cooperative Bowl. They have been selected for that all-star team. And Toby, with what we've seen here in the state championship environment, it's easy to see why that duo is headed for a little more football.
Yes, I mean, they're a dynamic duo, and that's what you do. You lean on your playmakers, you know what I'm saying, at this time during the season. And just before that, the playmakers we talk about, too, are the big guys up front, like Carter Boatwright just made a great block to play before this. And they keep continuing making great plays. I'm just watching all the linemen and how they're pushing people around. It's just a great thing to see. Even the center, John Lasher, how he just making movement and moving piles.
He's been remarkable, that's for sure. And if you're wondering, you say, what exactly is that? North-South game, as it's historically been known here in the Palmetto State. They will be a part of the North-South All-Star game now, the moniker that we passed along for you there. You know, there were 2 honors you could receive in this state, major honors: play in the Shrine Bowl, play in the North-South game. 2 things you really kind of looked at your career and said, that's a capstone on it in many ways. And here are 2 guys who will do just that. Second down play coming. They set up in the red zone here, the Doctor's Implants red zone. And Phillips tries to work his way through traffic. Too many bodies there, and too many of those white jerseys for the designated visitors out of the Low Country. Low Country teams, lower state teams are the visitors this weekend. So the home jersey is being worn by the upper state teams. That alternates from one year to the next. Inside 3 minutes to go in the third. Boy, capping this drive was something. The Rebels could create some separation entering the fourth.
Yes, and with a team that don't throw the ball much, you're gonna have to have your home run hitter, make a home run play, and other players gonna have to step up and do something. But it's crucial situation like that when you have it.
Makes this an important third down play for the defense. And looks as if they will get the stop on third down. And that was an individual performance you'll remember from Jaden Frazier right there to wrestle him around and down.
I mean, that's what it takes. That's what we've been talking about, guys, to just step up. And he come off the block and shed the block and just makes a terrific play.
Actually, check that as you see the tremendous effort that was put on there. That's just one of the key plays of this contest, Toby.
Yes.
Well, big moment here, fourth down on the down marker.
Yes, we'll see what they got. Maybe some type of play action, send the guy in motion, maybe send him in the flat. Maybe trying to create a one-on-one backside with Simpkins. He's been doing some great things all day.
Want to give credit to Jayshawn Williams there, one of the linebackers with a quick key moment. 1:39 to go in the third quarter when you return.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise.
It's time to experience Columbia, South Carolina, a standout destination in the Southeast where everyone truly belongs.
We are much more than our state's capital and home to the University of South Carolina. We are a diverse, growing city with incredible art and history around every corner.
You may even see a few painters set up on a street corner capturing all the city's sights and sounds.
But no matter your passion, Columbia is the perfect location. Take a chance by calling it home, even if just for a day.
Before we're finished, you'll want to stick around for the Bojangles Bash Defensive Player of the Game selection. You know the Bojangles Bash, that elite high school basketball showcase. It returns to Ridgeview High School in the Columbia area. In the days ahead, the Bojangles Bash will feature 11 teams. You got 9 games over 3 days, including Jermaine O'Neal's dynamic prep. Tickets and details, bojanglesbash.com. Big fourth down here to the end zone, and did he get up and catch it? He absolutely did. A tremendous finish for Williams and a fourth down conversion to remember. It translates into a Palmetto Bath touchdown, and boy, does it increase the lead in a key moment for Strom Thurmond.
So it's just a great dive by Shy Williams. He run basically a wheel route, and quarterback just looks it off and throws it to him, and he just make a great catch and come down. But Mr. Williams, remember, he was the one that stopped him on fourth down when you thought he was going to get it. So for him to end this drive right here with him with a touchdown is just something that shows how their coaches rely on him on offense and defense.
You read my mind, Toby. Here's a guy reminding you what the definition of Ironman football looks like. You see the stickers piling up. They'll have to find space on that helmet for one more. And it will be followed up with a 2-point conversion as rushing it in to get the job done to finish it all out is Zy Rouse, who tried it earlier and this time finds it successful. Runs the lead to 26-7. Defensive contribution followed by an offensive contribution for Shy Williams, and the Rebels lead grows.
Have you been quoted for trench drain system to fix water intrusion? Before you compromise your foundation, talk to Foundation Solutions. We provide a more efficient, more cost-effective way to keep your basement dry. With 30 years of experience in Western North Carolina, we bring guaranteed work, financing options, and real peace of mind. Visit foundationswnc.com or call 828-768-2208.
We were tired of our old bathroom, but we thought remodeling was overwhelming and expensive.
And that's when we found Palmetto Bath. They brought their showroom to us with their no-pressure design consultation, making designing our new shower easy and fun.
And their employee installer was professional and efficient. He took out our old tub and put in a new walk-in shower. Thanks to Palmetto Bath, we got the shower of our dreams at a price we could afford.
Call today for your free consultation and tell them Megan sent you.
Stick with us all the way. You will find out who the Stanley Law Group Player of the Game becomes. Stanley Law Group, your injury law professionals. You can visit them at stanleylawgroup.com today. They're the sponsors of our Player of the Game. Several candidates in that category emerging. Latest of which has got to be Shy Williams, right? He's another guy putting together a superlative performance. The defensive stop, you said it, of that last drive, and then he had the offensive moment. A remarkable catch to cap the drive with a touchdown. And here is Mathis, who, remember, had the big return toward the end of the half. They were waiting for him this go-round, and he's eventually rushed out of bounds at around the 26-yard line.
It was just another great play on special teams by Caleb Simpkins. You know, a same guy we talking about. He's been making big plays. You know, he said he can do it on special teams too. And that's giving you all. That's everything is at special teams. That's all three phases. You know, offense, defense, and special teams. So, I mean, hats off to this young man.
Well, it was a 6-0 advantage after one. It was 18-7 with Hampton County's only touchdown coming on the final play of the first half. That was the score at the intermission. And now with 8 on the board here in the third, a touchdown catch by Williams and the Rouse conversion. A 26-7 advantage in effect. That's the deficit the Hurricanes face. Well, it's been hurricane-type weather here today. Hurricanes going to have to come to life in it now as they're running out of time, and particularly with the way this defense, under the direction of, look who it is again, Shy Williams, is playing right now.
Absolutely. I mean, he plays from the secondary, but he flies downhill. I mean, you know, when you get a team that don't throw the ball as much, so you got a tendency to, I mean, as safeties, as coaches, I mean, that's what you do. Like Coach Newton been sending them downhill.
First guy on the scene was Bryson Coleman again that time. Remember, Coleman, the leading tackler, told you right around 90 tackles on the year, 14 of those for loss. Also a guy who's been in the backfield more than once with some key sacks along the way this year. And look at him fly to the football as third down is going to be coming from about 5 away after a gain of only a couple.
And it's just great. Gregory Moore got Smith in there. I mean, you got those guys. You got Mason Johnston. You know, a lot of guys are flying to this football and not trying to give up, you know, that big play, because that big play can change momentum in this ball game.
This group that has been outstanding defensively since that Batesburg-Leesville game we talked about a little earlier in the broadcast. Just 66 points allowed in the 8 games since then once they turned the corner.
I mean, that's just great. It's a little over touchdown to game. So, I mean, it's just great how teams can just play this. But you can see it. I mean, you see the tenacity of these guys. You see the effort of these guys. That's why there's 15 tackle for losses, 18 tackle for losses, 16 tackle for losses, 100 tackles here, 47 tackles here. I mean, these guys just get to the football. They're just relentless.
They've been a big part of the story. Time to switch sides for the final quarter of the Class 2A championship season. And the Rebels of Strom Thurmond, looking for a first title in 2 decades, carry the advantage into the fourth.
After fire, water, or storm damage, it can feel like the heart of the season is lost. But for more than 50 years, A&I Fire and Water Restoration has helped families across the Carolinas reclaim life's most important moments. Because coming home isn't just about walls and floors, it's about memories and traditions. A&I Fire and Water Restoration, restoring more than property, restoring the moments that matter most. You can rely on A&I.
I got into my car. I started to back out when a Jeep hit me from behind. I heard about the Stanley Law Group through cutting Mark Stanley's hair when he was 5 years old, and he and his 2 brothers were my first 3 regular customers. I've heard Mark talk plenty of times about how these accidents are very trying on people, and that it's not about the money, it's about long-term health. I would recommend the Stanley Law Group because I believe they're men of their word.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
The numbers through 3 brought to you by the Jim Hudson Automotive Group. Experience it once. You'll always remember. That's how it breaks down, Toby.
Yes, again, it's about the same as, through the right before halftime. It's the passing yards that's the biggest key. 139 and 139 are deadlocked. You know what I'm saying? The penalties are the same. We don't have basically one penalty after halftime, one apiece, 1-1. The turnovers still stayed the same from the first beginning. So the difference is the passing yards.
On a 50-degree night with the rain finally hopefully clearing a bit for us. In Orangeburg, South Carolina, we begin the 4th quarter of play for the Class 2A state championship game. Boy, you consider the history of this, the Palmetto State, the greatest of all states. And these two communities factor heavily. You got the group out of Edgefield County, the home of governors. You got the group out of one of the first locations in the history of the state as well, down in that Hampton County area. And they go head to head for the Class 2A title on this night. Varnville colliding with Johnston, South Carolina. So much respect all across the state for these two communities, who they are, what they stand for, what they've meant to the Palmetto State. And now they have 12 minutes to determine which of those two communities will hoist the state championship trophy in 2025. Of course, Strom Thurmond, named for the former governor, former senator. And Hampton County, consolidation of the former Wade Hampton High, Hestel, all those areas down there in that region of the state are, again, some of the highly respected areas on both fronts. And here is Strom Thurmond trying to make its latest defensive impact, and the Rebels will. A takeaway for Strom Thurmond, as who's back there but Jalen Collins to reel this in. And it's going to make it real nice, the spot Strom Thurmond is in entering the 4th.
I mean, like I say, you're not used to throwing the football in a third and long situation. You're putting yourself, your team in a bad situation to get those yards. It's not something that you've been accustomed to doing, not all season, not sometimes. So. One
of the senior leaders, Jalen Collins, coming away with the INT. Remember, early in the game, you had the fumble that was forced out by this pesky D and scooped up by Caleb Simpkins. A game-defining moment. Here's another, perhaps, the Collins INT. And now the Rebels go back to work. The crew from the school, as we said, Edgefield County, established in the early 1960s, claiming their most recent championship back in 2005. And boy, have they been on a mission these last 9 games, trying to go on a 10-game winning streak to close out 2025. And Toby, they're 11.5 minutes away with a 26-7 lead. You have to be careful here. A lot of football left, but you have to love the spot Strom Thurmond is in now.
Yeah, so like I said, they've been doing great basically all season, like you said, from the 8th grade, only giving up 8 points a game. But I think they're taking on the mentality of their defensive coordinator when it's 50 degrees and he has on shorts and a t-shirt. I mean, I think that's the mentality that these guys have. They come into work. They don't care about the weather. They don't care about certain things. And it's just a great run, again, by Phillips, who's been doing his job all night long and all year.
That's the same kind of fight you see from him, right? He's 100-yard back in this one. And Phillips with the latest of his state championship highlight moments. He's got a couple of touchdowns to match his jersey number already. And he picks up the Stewart Law Office's first down, rumbling into Hurricanes territory at the 34-yard line. What a night it has been for one of the senior leaders, Deontay Phillips. And Well, you think about the way Lee has managed this game. We talked about, we talk about quarterbacks across all these teams as the field general, how they have to manage things. And Lee for the Rebels has been just that, Toby. He has been that cool, calm, collected, making the right decisions and managing the game very well for this group.
Yes, I think Coach Addis put him in a great situation. I think they have been saying it all week long. Basically keeping the defense off balance, play action, bootlegs, throwing the ball in certain situations and not have to throw the football. I think when you look at it, they didn't have to throw the football sometimes, but it opened up that defense, so allowed them to get better holes, better running lanes. It does a lot of things when things that you don't do, you start doing those things. It opens up the run and makes it better for what you want to do.
Yeah, Lee and the Rebels right now at the 32-yard line. Phillips, Simpkins, so many of the playmakers who have had their say in this one. And he will give it to Caden Wigfall. We told you there are a couple of sophomores. Rouse, who ran that two-point conversion in a little bit ago. Caden Wigfall, who you see here, a guy with 8 touchdowns on the season. Those are the 2 sophomores that complement the senior Phillips very well out of the backfield.
Yes, I mean, they just got a great tandem. Like I say, they've been doing it for a long time, and Kendall Wighall, like I say, almost 700 yards rushing. So he gives you another piece that comes in that you're going to have to deal with. So Phillips can get some rest from playing defense also. So these guys just have a great formula. They're unselfish, and that's why they're putting themselves in a chance to maybe finish off and have a state champion.
Well, and in the case of Caden Wigfall, how nice is it when you talk about Rouse with the conversion earlier to have a couple of sophomores who've got a lot of football left in them for this team.
Timeout, Strom Thurmond.
Rebels want to talk it over, and we'll take the timeout as well. 9:06 to play in the 2A title game. Our broadcast brought to you by A&I Fire and Water Restoration continues on the other side of the break.
Hi, Mom.
I've got an invisible junk pile.
How do you know?
When my friends saw it, I could see it.
Other people can always see them.
Can you make it disappear?
All you have to do is point, Mom.
It's gone.
Save $55 on junk removal. Book today.
Touchdown in the first period, a couple of scores in the second, and a touchdown followed by a conversion in the third. That type of scoring balance has Strom Thurmond out in front of Hampton County with 9:06 to play in the Class 2A title game. Once more, we remind you, our broadcast brought to you by A&I Fire and Water Restoration all across the course of the Weekend of Champions. And we got another one coming your way later tonight, the 5A Division I battle between Dutch Fork and Somerville, a rematch from a year ago in Dutch Fork. Talk about these two communities and their history. Dutch Fork going for a little history of their own football-wise tonight. This set up for Simpkins. He threads the needle and takes it all the way home. Caleb Simpkins, who had the 55-yard touchdown reception earlier, has one of 32 yards on this variety here. And that Palmetto Bath touchdown may serve as the exclamation point for the Rebels tonight. What a job 7 has done along the way.
It was just a great play design. They sent the H back, Braden Sears out in motion like we've been talking about. They leaked him, but he was a lead blocker, and they just threw the ball, and Simpkins just does the rest.
Now, there is going to be something to sort out back around the 30-yard line. And here's the call.
Receiver downfield gets the offense. 5-yard penalty, previous spot, going to replay, first down.
Just when you thought Simpkins had his second touchdown reception of the night, an ineligible downfield. You'll have that from time to time when you try to set up those type screens.
Absolutely. You know, like sometimes linemen, you know, they got a couple yards. It's basically like it's like an RPO or looks like the run game, and then you throw it back to the receiver. But what happens is some of the linemen get a little bit further down the field, and because they don't know what's going on behind them. You know, they don't know if you're going to run the ball behind them or if you're going to throw this screen. So that's what happens, and it's unfortunate for a great play like him, but that's the rules of football, and that's how it is.
It's a tall hill to climb, but hope remains for Hampton County after the penalty, because Strom Thurmond now behind the sticks, 3rd down and 13 from the 38-yard line. So, yeah, time is going to be a bit of a challenge, certainly with offensive style. But Hampton County having to come away, it would seem, with a stop here, gets one more opportunity to do so on a couple of downs that are forthcoming. 3rd down, and they're going to call it 14, a long 13. Let's go ahead and call it 14. They need the 24-yard line to move the chains. And Lee's going to load up, go toward the end zone, looking for Williams, and it's just out of his reach. Shy Williams made a remarkable touchdown catch a little bit earlier. That would have been another, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that's just a great call again. That's one of those boots and waggles that we talked about, moving the pocket, you know, not just sitting in the pocket. We talked about this earlier, and he had him, but, you know, he was going to have to make a great throw. It had to be on the money because it was still pretty good coverage by Terrell Grant. You know, Terrell Grant had great coverage on this one, too. So if you throw it a little bit short, he could definitely come up and pick it or knock it down. So it happens great on both plays. A great throw over the top so you don't throw an interception and lead your team and give the ball up on those downs.
Here comes 4th down and 14. Again, the line they're looking for is the 24.
Prior to the snap, delay a game, gets the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So they take the delay, and you can make it 4th and just shy of 20 now.
Yes. I mean, this has a great job, you know what I'm saying, from the defense of Hampton County. And I know Marshall Paul, the defense coordinator, I know he's really ecstatic that his guys are not just giving up. You know, and that's how you want to feel as a defense coordinator. You know, it may not be going your way right now, but that's what you want to see. And I know Coach Paul is very excited that his guys will still have a lot of fight in them.
100%. Took the penalty to back it up, give a little room to the punter here. And it's going to be sent down inside the 20. It'll roll to the 7-yard line, and that's where Hampton County will take over after the punt, which also is another assignment taken care of by Lee, who does so many things effectively for this Rebels squad. Strom Thurmond holding a 26-7 advantage at 4th.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Field on the campus of South Carolina State. Happy to have you with us for the broadcast presented by A&I Fire and Water Restoration across the Sinclair family of networks in the Carolinas and beyond. Of course, all got started yesterday. Oceanside taking care of VHP. Bamberg Earhart over Lamar. Northwestern, a big win over Irmo last night. Busy Saturday for you, well underway. Needing some type of spark from Jalen Singletary, and he'll have a first down. That's a Stewart Law Office's first down up across the 25-yard line. Time wearing thin for Hampton County, but the Hurricanes do have the football after the stop, trailing it 26-7. By the way, you had eyeballs on that first game earlier today and had an interest in it. It went real well for you.
Yes, it went very well. My godson.
Personal foul, face mask, gets the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run is going to result in a first down.
Well, he wanted to make sure you knew about the personal foul penalty, but let's go back to that. We're congratulating the champions across the course of the weekend, and that first game today had some major interest for you.
Yes, it did. You know what I'm saying? My godson, Caden Watkins, you know, defense to stop of the game and had a turning point, had a touchdown. My roommate got a ring, you know, coach from South Point. So had a lot of good stuff, but had a lot of memories with my other roommate, Reggie Richardson, who was from South Florence, but still doesn't matter. You know, we still love each other. That's what we talked about earlier about, about the memories and the day it just come together. You know, the memories and different things from different places. You know, you don't hate them because they did so playing, because they're playing your team. We got our own memories in this, and we just love football, and we love to come back and see young men come to do some great things and hopefully further their education and do some things, or become positive citizens in America.
100%. Could not have said it better. And though, yes, you want to hoist a championship trophy, and these communities want to come out on top at the end of a given season, anybody involved in these state championship environments going to remember it for a lifetime. And as Coach Muldrow always reminds us, one of our colleagues who we'll hear from a little bit later on tonight, you're a champion when you get here. You either won the lower state or you won the upper state. It's been a championship season that it ends on the final day of the campaign. It's something special for sure. Here's another first down. So a Stewart Law Office is moving to the chains, and it's like Singletary is aware of the sense of urgency here, Toby. He's got him on the move.
Yes, has him on the move, and that's what it takes. I mean, you don't have to throw the ball all the time, but you just got to get positive 10 and 12 yards. But you know, you're going to have to do something and eventually get. But he's just such an explosive back that he's able to cut against the grain and smart back by getting out of bounds.
Yeah, works it out of bounds after getting something positive out of this. You saw his numbers. He too has gone over 100 yards, 100+ yard night for Phillips on the Rebels side of things, 100+ yard night for Jalen Singletary, as you might expect on the Hampton County side of things. Both these backs have been as advertised.
Yes, and it's great when you see like 100-something yards for him, you're thinking like, oh, he didn't have a great game. I mean, anytime a back, his goal is to get 100 yards. You know, sometimes it's just impossible for you to get 200-something yards like he's racking up, you know, every single game. But, I mean, hats off to him, and still hats off to this offensive line, because they're still playing very hard and trying their best to come out from this deficit that they're in.
And battling with 7:22 to go on the fourth quarter game clock, as the second down and 8 is coming from the 45 of the Rebels. And looking to throw one deep. There's double coverage there. Trying for another takeaway, and securing it is that defense. And this, if the last Jalen Collins interception didn't seal it, this one almost assuredly will. 2 interceptions nearly back-to-back here drives-wise for Jalen Collins.
Yes, I mean, he's just sitting back home field. He knows they're going to have to throw the ball up deep. And basically what Hampton County's trying to do is get it to their stud. You know, so let's try to feed their stud, basically on the wheel right out of the backfield. And they wasn't going for it. You know, they're just sitting back in the zone and just waiting for them just to throw it up.
We were talking about state championship memories. Well, hang on, we got another
unsportsmanlike conduct against the offense. First down.
Mike going in and out a bit, but you heard it. And unsportsmanlike at the end of that. This, our officials staying on top of things here in the fourth quarter. Just going to say, Toby, you've talked about championship memories, and here's a guy in Collins who just grabbed a couple of his own. Pair of interceptions in the state championship environment, something to remember. Now, Coach Rob Hanna, who's brought his team here across the course of a tremendous season, and his group will send the defense back out there as Strom Thurmond takes over. 7:06 to play. Still a lot of football left in this one, but Jalen Collins putting the Rebels in a good spot. There is Grant. And take a look at this. So many of these guys going both ways. You think about the nature of, you know, we called the Class A game yesterday the the 2A game tonight. Be a completely different animal tonight in the 5A game in terms of the amount of resources that you have to work with and the number of bodies that you're able to work in and out there. There's something special and something memorable and something unique when you talk about these classifications, Toby, because you've got your athletes out there and rarely do they get a breather.
That's right. The thing about these guys that play this Ironman football, how good are they going to be when they go to school somewhere and just concentrate on one side of the ball?
Yes.
You know, that's a big key, just concentrate on one side of the ball. You know you're going to get a dynamic player whichever side they go on. And you know what type of player you get when he can play offense and defense and just somebody who's just a specialty guy.
Well, that's the voice of experience talking, it sounds like. If memory serves, when you came to the University of South Carolina here in the Midlands, it wasn't just as the wide receiver everybody remembers.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I came in as a quarterback, you know what I'm saying, first of all, and then I left and started at cornerback my first redshirt freshman year, and then the last 3 years I played receiver. So I played receiver, punt returner. It got me on the field to do a lot of stuff. I was on kickoff team, kickoff and punt team. I returned punt. So they used my athletic ability in a lot of ways, and I helped my team, like I say, kickoff return. I didn't return the kickoffs. I blocked for them. So that's the thing I want to tell people. Just because you the star receiver on the team or whatever, I did the small things to help our team win.
What a tremendous point from one of the legends, the living legends here in the state of South Carolina. Just a reminder that this is a team sport, and it is, as this Strom Thurmond staff has reminded us several times coming into this state championship environment, and you remind us regularly, the little things that make all the difference. They become the big things, both in football and in life. Here comes a 4th down, and the punting unit set to kick it away with inside 5 minutes to play in this 2A title game. And that'll take a little bit of a Rebels roll inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, and that is where Hampton County will take over. Well, inside 5 minutes away from claiming another state title, the Rebels send their defense out there, and it's not sealed just yet. But this Strom Thurmond team in a prime spot. You know, Toby, and we'll talk about this a little more if they're able to finish this off and it gets closer. Undefeated 12-0 campaign and a 2A state title in 1968. Hadn't really mentioned that one as much. We talked about the 2005 title. Of course, Coach Tony Hillary works with receivers. He was on the staff then. He's back on the staff now here in 2025. And then this year's team trying to finish off what is quite a turnaround, because for Strom Thurmond, it's easy to forget this was a team that went 6-4 and was bounced from the first round of the playoffs a year ago after going to the quarterfinals back-to-back seasons prior to that. So this is a team that really shook off a memory they didn't necessarily want and translated it into perhaps a memory they're going to treasure for a lifetime.
Yes, I mean, you know, sometimes it just shows you the ball just don't bounce that way. You just can't put on that jersey and say, well, we went to the quarterfinals last year or semifinals or whatever finals you go to say we automatically gonna get there again. No, there's other teams that are preparing for you. There's other teams that want to be in your position. So you got to keep working consistently.
And another carry as he just continues to battle for Hampton County's Hurricanes for Jalen Singletary. And, you know, let's take a moment as he moves the chains with another Stewart Law Office's first down. And while this all-state performer is finishing up his tremendous high school career, you don't get the sense that this Hampton County team is finishing up their impact on the state. This is a group just 3 years into their existence after the consolidation right here in the state championship deal. And, you know, some of our colleagues coming in reminding us a little bit earlier tonight, kind of talking about what this athletic department has done. In both basketball and football, in the 3 years they've existed, they've made their way to at least the semifinals and break through and come to the state title game for the first time under his direction. This is going to be a force to be reckoned with, these Hurricanes, you would think, for a long time to come, Toby. And they'll go up top, although this is going to be picked off once more. And just having to do some things that maybe is not in their game plan has created chances for a guy like Shai Williams to make his mark once again on this game. Williams has the latest of the INTs.
I mean, he's played a great game. I mean, he's had a touchdown. He's had a couple picks, a couple tackles, you know, great open field tackles coming down from that safety position like he's been doing all year.
Keep in mind, when the game was in doubt earlier, after the late touchdown in the second quarter on the final play of the half, when they were trying to drive in the early stages of the third to turn this game. He had the 4th down stop that made all the difference. Somewhat fitting that he ends up coming away with the pick that may in essence seal it.
I mean, that's what happens when you're a disciplined player, you know, and you love your teammates and you do all the right things to make it happen. So hats off to that young man for all that he's done for their team, you know what I'm saying, all year long and tonight, helping them for a chance to maybe win this game.
They talk about the little things. They talk about Rebel pride there in Edgefield County. And that Rebel pride alive and well. He's certainly a candidate for our Bojangles Bash Defensive Player of the Game with the job he's done. Talked about the fumble that was forced. All the headlines go to Simpkins, but remember, he created that moment. Here was the 4th down stop earlier, which was difference-making. And then he, and you'll see this 4th down stop, is the guy who, in the end, comes away with the pick that puts it back in the hands of this Rebels team, the Bojangles Bash Defensive Player of the Game. And boy, there was some to choose from. Shy Williams, as good as it gets when you talk about the timely nature of his contribution.
Yes, and that's what happened. It was all big time. It was 4th down when he scored a touchdown.
Yes.
It was 4th down on the stop. You know what I'm saying? So he's coming, like you say, making plays. Jason, when it's time and it's crucial for your team to make plays, Mr. Williams makes plays.
Tell him it's 4th down, right?
Yes, that's all you need to do. He rises to the occasion.
And the name could not be any better when he stopped them just shy on that 4th down try. Shy Williams, anything but that when it comes to his performance in the championship game. He will be among those heralded for this Rebels squad in 2025. And now pushing on past the marker on a 3rd down conversion. That's another Stewart Law Office's 1st down, and it should allow the Rebels to maintain control of the football the rest of the way. And just so many of those that get to come in and make their mark on this one. Zy Rouse, we told you, one of the key contributors who has some football left in front of him. Everything set up at the 43-yard line for Strom Thurmond as the clock winds on down inside of a minute and a half. Balance scoring the order of this one, and in the victory formation, Strom Thurmond takes a knee as the clock will wind under a minute. Toby, they scored the 1 touchdown in the first, had the 2 scores in the second, put 8 on the board in the third, and it all culminates in a Gatorade bath as the Rebels close in on a title.
Like I say, it's just impressive, man. Just to watch them play from the very beginning. They had a defensive scheme to stop, and they had a great offensive scheme, and they used basically all the points that we talked about. It's what they did, and that's why they are champions.
Andrew Webb had them believe. He said the little things matter. And Rebel pride alive and well, as we said, for this group. As Strom Thurmond takes one more knee and they begin to pour out onto the field. A perfect season in the late 1960s, they're still talking about there in Edgefield County. A championship in 2005. And now another Class 2A title 2 decades later, as they carry the coach off on their shoulders with no time remaining in 2025. It's the Rebels of Strom Thurmond claiming the 2A crown. Been a while for this group, Toby, but they traveled well, they prepared well, they celebrated what happened in the semifinal round, yet completely turned their focus to the task at hand today, and it was a job well done for the Rebels.
Yes, like I say, hats off to all the coaching staff, all administration, everything. I know these guys put in a lot of hard work, you know what I'm saying, during the summertime and off season for them to get to this point, you know, and it's just gracious on that. I've seen on the sideline again how they gave a Gatorade bath to the defense coordinators and all the coordinators too. So it just shows it's a lot of love for the head coach, but it's a lot of love for the other coaches that's been around this program to help them be successful like they are.
Everybody a contributor, that's for sure. And Andrew Webb said it all starts with the ground game, but there were some major moments through the air, building upon that ground game in this one. And one of the moments that stands out as our adventure play of the game, the 55-yard connection between Lee and Caleb Simpkins. This a tone setter, Toby.
Yes, just a perfect throw, perfect catch, and just separate from the ball. So it's pitch and catch. You know, they've probably been doing it for mostly all their life. That's what happens when you grow up in small communities. You know, you create relationships and great chemistry like this.
Well, he was involved, along with Shai Williams, who we showed you a moment ago defensively, in our stop of the game, brought to you by Experience Columbia. The Columbia SC stop of the game was the early fumble when it appeared the Hurricanes had all the momentum. He scooped it, flipped the field and the script. As a result, is our Experience Columbia SC stop of the game, as this was the point at which Strom Thurmond really took over and never looked back.
Yes, you know, we talked about it, you know, in live action. It's just great that he had the ability to pick the ball up and run it back instead of just falling on the ball.
Time to hear from the victorious head coach of the Rebels. Let's go field side. Take it away, Claire.
Thanks, guys. Coach, 6 wins last year. Lucky 13 gets it for you in a state title. You said it was bigger than just this team. Explain your emotions on this win.
Yeah, this is obviously amazing, but I've been doing this long enough. I've been following the good Lord long enough that he's got his hand in it, and he's looked after us. He's kept us healthy, and he's brought us all here together for a reason. And all of this glory, these boys will tell you, all this glory goes to him. We're so thankful and proud.
You welcomed the Gatorade shower. You were all hugging up on each other.
Yeah.
What is the bond of this group?
Yeah, I mean, you play Strom Thurmond Rebel football, and there's a brotherhood that spans long beyond just these men dressed out tonight. All the people that came before us has made Strom Thurmond football special, and it's our job to continue to uphold the standard of pride, class, courage, and the will to win and to take it higher. And tonight, these boys did.
Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, he takes a moment and pays tribute to where it all comes from, the foundation of it all. He said the Lord had his hand in it every step of the journey with these young men, and he talked about their brotherhood and the challenges faced, but the triumph they enjoy on this night, overcoming to the tune of a Class 2A state title. Congratulations to the Rebels of Strom Thurmond High School. What a memory for them in 2025. So many outstanding performers in this one, but we select our player of the game, brought to you as it has been across the course of the weekend by the Stanley Law Group. And Toby, he did a lot early in this one and stayed consistent throughout. Deontay Phillips, the selection as our Stanley Law Group player of the game.
Yes, Mr. Phillips, they've been leaning on him all year long, and why not in the state game? 25 carries, 155 yards, and 2 TDs. And on defense, too, just a run stopper and make some plays on that. So he gave us all, and definitely is our player of the game.
Think about the seniors. You think about Phillips, obviously. We talked about Simpkins and what he was able to provide. And, then the consistent performers, Williams and Lee, and on down the line it goes. This just an impressive performance for the Rebels. We'll come back, put the finishing touches on it with the trophy presentation. Get you set for the final game of the weekend. All that coming up as our broadcast presented by A&I Fire and Water Restoration continues in a moment.
We were tired of our old bathroom, but we thought remodeling was overwhelming and expensive.
And that's when we found Palmetto Bath. They brought their showroom to us with their no-pressure design consultation, making designing our new shower easy and fun.
And their employee installer was professional and efficient. He took out our old tub and put in a new walk-in shower. Thanks to Palmetto Bath, we got the shower of our dreams at a price we could afford.
Call today for your free consultation and tell them Megan sent you.
The thing that makes me happy about my job is when I can look someone at the eye at the end of the case and know that I have made them happy, that I've helped them at a difficult point in their life. We've handled thousands of accident-related cases from settlement to trial. If you give us a call, we're gonna get on the phone with you. If we need to drive somewhere to meet with you to make your life easier, we're gonna drive out there and meet with you. You're the person who's been in the accident, you're the person that needs help, and at the Stewart Law Offices, we're gonna go out of our way to help you.
all 4 quarters, and they claim a 26-7 2A state championship with a victory on this memorable Saturday in the Palmetto State. Just a remarkable performance all the way around, Toby, and this is a team that came in on a mission. They turned it from one season to the next, and they finish it with a little more for the trophy case.
Yes, and the thing about it is, you know, what he's talking about, all this love and relationship and stuff, they got a lot of players coming back, so don't count Strom Thurmond out, you know what I'm saying? But it's, again, there's a lot of teams just out there that has the same ambitions and the same goals to do the same thing and be holding that trophy like they're holding next year.
Well, what a memory. 1968, where it started from a championship standpoint, 2005, and now you can add 2025. And as they call it, the Rebel Brotherhood, alive and well in the Palmetto State. It is the Strom Thurmond Rebels carrying the title back to Johnston, to Edgefield County in 2025. One more coming your way. Dutch Fork and Somerville next in the 5A Division I title game. Make plans to join us across the Carolinas and beyond on the Sinclair family of networks. But that does it for this broadcast. Congratulations to Strom Thurmond. The Rebels reign supreme in the Palmetto State on this night. Big thank you to all of our sponsors: A&I Fire and Water Restoration, Foundation Solutions, 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Stewart Law Offices, Doctors Implants, Palmetto Bath, Stanley Law Group, Adventure Children's Museum, Preferred Appliance, Palmetto Pride, Jim Hudson Automotive, Experience Columbia, the Bojangles Bash, Farm Bureau Insurance, Ingalls Markets, all sponsors making it possible for you to see these championship games live. A big thank you to all our coaches, administrators, and teachers out there across the state. Our heartfelt thanks to you on so many fronts. And to the fans, we appreciate you. You're the reason why we do what we do. For my broadcast partner, Toby Cates, a pleasure to do it for another year. And Claire Foley on the field, Jason Patterson saying, thanks for joining us. Congrats to the Rebels, champions of the Palmetto State in 2025 in the Class 2A ranks.